What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday night. Happy match day 12, CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. We are watching right now, pregame, Ricardo Pepi on the field at Estadio Azteca getting ready for US-Mexico, the best rivalry in this region by far. Panama up 1-0 right now. That means the Canaleros in position. They're in fourth. They're trying to stay there, maybe even jump up a little bit over the course of these games. I'm Andrew Wiebe, Matt Doyle, David Goss. We don't matter. We got DaMarcus Beasley here. We're going to watch a show with you. That's what this show is all about. Hit us up in the comments section. Tweet at us. We will answer your questions, and we'll basically have live soccer therapy because that's what this is. We are waiting to see who makes the World Cup out of CONCACAF. Hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll have a poll jumping up here in just a second so you can tell us what result you think is going to go down. DaMarcus, man, thanks for joining us. We'll be with you a good amount, I think, over the next months or so. We're used to watching you in these games. How do you feel
that was
right
a while
now?
ago. We can't say that anymore. That was.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was long. It was 3 years. That's
3
long.
years is not that long ago.
It's like,
Also,
I don't know, man. The last 3 years have been pretty long. I gotta say. So.
There you go. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
How do you feel right now? We're gonna get to the lineups in just a second, and Greg Berhalter's put out what looks to be like at least an A- lineup. U.S., Mexico, and Azteca. When you're playing it, it's a different feeling. When you're sitting at home, how do you feel right now?
Man, we were talking about this off air, and I'm chill. You know, I mean, I know we got to weather the storm. I know we're gonna, have some bumps in the road, but I'm chill. I know it's a huge game, and I think that's why Greg put out this lineup. He wants to win. He wants to be the first U.S. team to win in Azteca for in any kind of game of meaning. So
yeah.
This is my Bruce like that. The 19-year-old.
This could be it.
You could play in a World Cup because DaMarcus Beasley's just chill in a moment like that.
He's like,
I wouldn't call it anxious. I'm excited. I want to see. I'm ready for the game to start.
You're ready for it to go.
So,
all right, let's talk about this
ready for it to
lineup
go.
here. We got about 30 minutes till game time. Of course, you're watching on Paramount Plus, most likely, maybe CBS Sports Network. We are a second screen for you. Tweet it out if you're having fun with us. If you think other people in your life would enjoy this, awesome. And let me know where you're at. I'm watching this right now. We got Mexico fans in here for sure. We've got Canada fans in here. They're waiting to kick off in Costa Rica. That's going to be important as well. The U.S. right now second in the Hex, Mexico third, Panama fourth, and Costa Rica fifth, and Canada all the way up on 25 points in first. They haven't lost a game in this Hex. But here's the lineup for the U.S. Zach Steffen in goal. From right to left along the back line, Yedlin, Zimmerman, Miles Robinson, Jedi. In the midfield, Adams, Costa, and Musa. Up top, Weah, Pepi, and Pulisic. Pepi may be the surprise here. A lot of the debate have been about, Jesus Ferreira has been in form. Pifok has been in great form in Switzerland. What do you think about this lineup, DaMarcus? I mean, this is Greg going for it, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's going for it. And I think I agree with that. I know a lot of people were saying, let's put all our eggs in the basket. Some of you guys said that, right? Okay. Yeah. See, yeah, I'm not about that. I'm about just go at it, play your best lineup. You're playing against your biggest rival. This is a chance to make history. I know there's a lot on the line. We're not going to talk about 2018, but there's a lot on the line. But I like this lineup. I really do. I'm confident in the boys.
Does what surprises?
I don't think you guys have the same sentiment as I do.
No, I absolutely do. But I'm surprised. That
I can see y'all faces and y'all
I'm just trying to process it, man. Ricardo Pepi's the one that I go to and I say, that's really like,
that's
I love Pepi.
Yeah.
We've driven that hype train for years at this point on everything that we do. His talent, his ability, the move that he made, right move for him, but on the field hasn't gone down. Have you ever at a point in your career where you're like, hey, I'm not really playing right now, I'm out of form, and you got called in and we're like, you got to perform? Because this is an interesting position to be in for him where he's not scoring goals in Germany, and now he's in Azteca, and there's pressure on him. Huge pressure, World Cup pressure.
Yeah, no, I have. When I was in Scotland, there was a point where I was in and out of, the lineup, injuries, and, Bob was still, bringing me in. And I was a little bit older than Pepi, so it's a bit different. But I think at the same time, it's the same as that you're giving a young player confidence. He knows that he's not scoring. We don't have to tell him that. He knows that. So, but I think with Greg bringing him in, giving him this big opportunity to play against Mexico. I mean, if this is not showing confidence in your number 9, then I don't know what is.
That's true to me because I didn't think Greg did this in the last window. Like, I thought Pepe needed an opportunity, especially against El Salvador in the first game, to sort of get his legs under him, to get goals, to get confidence. And it felt like Greg Berhalter didn't want to use the national team for that. And he went with Jesus Ferreira, who he trusted more, and went with Giassi Zardes in the Canada game. So now it's interesting that a month later, when Pepe still hasn't scored, hasn't really played a ton with Augsburg, that now at the Azteca, he gets the opportunity. And I think when you, and I made a joke about Bruce Arena before, but obviously in Bruce Arena's heyday with the U.S., he just had a sense of hitting the right buttons at the right time with guys who was motivated, who felt special. I think Pepe playing at the Azteca, after just choosing the U.S. over Mexico, growing up in El Paso, I think this is a special moment for him. And I think Greg Berhalter's trying to find something at the number 9, and he's given him a shot, sort of taking a risk, feeling like a young kid who's always stepped up in big moments, that this is an opportunity to sort of boost him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I think that's the only part in the lineup that's surprising. You know, we can talk about the number 9 because there's only two number 9s that are, you know, pretty informed right now with Ferreira and Pifok, and Pepe gets to start. You know, but I just think that shows the confidence that Greg has in him, and you know, we'll see if it's a good move or a bad move. I mean, the game is going to start in a little bit, so we'll see. We'll find out.
That's right. Just want to throw out to people at home that are looking at this lineup a little confused. Yedlin is the right back. Jedi Robinson is the left back. So if you're looking at that thing and hold on, I don't understand that. That's just a little bit of a tech issue on our part. But Doyle, we got to get your thoughts, man, because you've been pounding the Panama drum, and that still is a massively important game.
Panama's still more important than this game,
especially because
no matter.
Right, by the way,
and I understand for bragging rights and for everything else, you want to beat Mexico, you want to be the first coach and the first U.S. team to win a game at the Azteca that actually matters. That's not a friendly, and all that stuff. Like big picture, like I can see why that matters, but in terms of the actual math of the thing, the next 2 games, the Panama game and the Costa Rica game, are the 2 that matter most, because 4 points, whether the U.S. Win, lose, or draw in this one, probably going to need 4 points from those 2 games. So I the whole point I've been trying to hit for with my columns and on Extra Time and Twitter threads is that it just from a strategic point of view, it does not make sense to ask your best players to play at 7,200 feet and expend all their energy when you got 3 games in 6 days. It's not what I would have done. But let's hey, a win's better than a loss here. I think that this U.S. team is more talented than this Mexico team. Certainly the Mexican fans are even in worse straits than the U.S. fans right now, the U.S. fan base. So let's hope that they can go out there and get 3 points and make history and put themselves in a good spot for the next game against Panama, which, I mean, let's face it, Panama's still going to be right on the U.S. heels because they're not going to lose to this absolutely garbage Honduras team at home.
By the way,
this
Panama,
Honduras team
header on the doorstep, Panama, it's saved, but they're
knocking on the door for 2-0.
They're putting Honduras under pressure here.
Yeah. So they're coming out of tonight with 3 points. The U.S., whether we come out with 3 or 1 or none, Sunday against Panama in Orlando is the must win. And this one's nice. I hope the U.S. win, but Sunday is the one that matters most.
Right now, if the U.S. wins, it's different than the U.S. tying and the U.S. losing. So there's value there.
Marginally, there is absolutely. The question is whether the question is whether the juice is worth the squeeze. The question is whether it's worth it.
I was going to word it more. I was going to word it nicer. I was going to say
you're the big Lizzo guy, so you go ahead.
Nice. Wow. He's a guy who's yelling about the noise outside being too loud 10 minutes ago, and now he's a Lizzo guy. Did not see that one coming. I was going to use the term Pyrrhic victory. It's an old Greek thing, so you wouldn't know about that.
Yeah, for educated people like yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But that is the question. And then the other question is, just based off history, a good performance, a good result at the Azteca has always meant a tie. And is it worth it for a tie if it's not a win? And that's sort of the question that the U.S. has. But when you look at Mexico, when you look at the form they're in, when you look at the way they've played at the Azteca in this round of qualifying, the absences they have along the back line, the question marks they have in their group, this is a beatable team. And when you look at this window, this might be a more winnable game than Costa Rica at the end. And so the question becomes, what type of group does the U.S. need at home to beat Panama? And then what can you put into this game? And this is clearly how Greg Berhalter has chosen to go about it. I think that there's a genuine idea about form and confidence. I mean, if you go and get beat big in the first game of this window, just from a culture point of view, how does the team rebound and come back? And so I think that sort of all had to play into Greg Berhalter's mind of how he handles this, how he puts this group together. And I'm looking at a team that I think can go out and win tonight, and not, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when they roll out the team and you're like, maybe they could fight for a tie and Michael Bradley scores an unreal goal and the U.S. tries to claw and hang on. I think this is a group that can get a win in Mexico City.
And you know what? To get the win in the last sort of bite at the Big Apple, because like these World Cup qualifiers, these matches at Azteca, it's not going to be like this in the future with an expanded World Cup with automatic qualification for both. The next one, part of me says I just want to lay that L on Mexican fans for eternity. You know what I mean? Just to be like, but what happened in the last World Cup qualifier? Azteca, the unbeatable fortress. What happened? Remind me. DaMarcus, what is the emotional and physical price of playing against Mexico in World Cup qualifiers? Because we're talking about what happens in this next game. You got to get through this one first, but you're doing it at this altitude. You're doing it in a way that, it takes a lot out of you. How much does it take to play in a match like this?
It does. The first 15, 20 minutes is rough. I'll tell you that right now. If you don't have the ball and you're chasing the game right from the get-go, it's gonna be a tough first half. But after the first 15, 20 minutes, you kind of get your breath a little bit, and then after that, you're ready to go. You're ready to rock. You go toe to toe with Mexico. You create chances when you can, but I don't think, and I don't take no disrespect from the teams that I played with when we went down to Azteca, but obviously we all know talent wise, this team could be something special. They're all young and all that jazz, but this team could be something special. And, on their day, I think they have a real shot of, surprising a lot of people tonight at Azteca. I'm optimistic.
Yeah,
I'm
personally. I've rounded.
I know. Matt's not feeling me right now. I get it.
I'm optimistic. I think the U.S. has a really great chance of winning this game. As good a chance as they've ever had. It's just mathematically, it's not the right thing to do from a coaching standpoint. I would rather have these guys completely fresh to go on Sunday. But I
think that they could still play in out, because I'm sure they've done all the I heard they were sleeping in the chambers, the oxygen chambers, like we did when I was playing.
Is that claustrophobic at all?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. And my roommate was Timmy, so we were both like, I don't know if it's gonna work.
How big is this tent are we talking about? How
How
big you pitch in here? Because
exactly.
I don't do well in a bunk bed. I need a little bit of space above me when I sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but no, it wasn't bad. It was you slept like a baby. It was normal. It was no different. But I think I think if it comes down to U.S., if they do don't come out with any points tonight, I think they can still somewhat play the same team against Panama. I don't see that being a problem. That's my opinion.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
The interesting,
me too.
The interesting thing about the selection is you've got, I think now 4 players in the starting lineup who are sitting on a yellow card. Stefan, Yedlin, Weah, and Adams. Any of them pick up a yellow card, they're suspended for the next game, which on the one hand, in my mind, said, well, save them for Panama. But then over the course of the last 24 hours, because this is all I've been thinking about, I started to shift and say, well, wouldn't you rather have them for 2 games than 1 game, even if the 1 game is the home game? So if they do pick up, because if you saved Adams for the Panama game and he picked up a yellow card in that game, he would only play 1 game in this window. I think that was part of the thinking for Greg Berhalter is, you're going to maximize the minutes you get out of those players, even though, as Matt Doyle will tell you in a second, the Panama game, is the most important game on Sunday.
More important than the other two combined. Yes.
But points matter, and having those players, I think, in the team as much as you can matters. I think Way is the one that surprises me the most with the news about Reggie Cannon testing positive for COVID.
By the way, there's more news. There's more news on that. Shaq Moore's on a plane. So Shaq.
Oh, really? That's the replacement.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the replacement for Reggie Cannon. Whether or not that means he plays in any of these 3 games, I don't know. It could be DeAndre the whole time. But either way, Shaq Moore's on the way.
Well, DeAndre would have to avoid a yellow card in every game then, which could happen, could not. Shaq Moore obviously was at Gold Cup, because we were talking before we came on about who you'd replace, and no one really has experience with this group. Joe Scally hasn't been a part of it. We couldn't really think of a lot of other promising names, but it would make sense then that Shaq Moore is the one guy who has played under Berhalter in that spot. You also have Kellen Costa, Tyler Adams, who could potentially be used in there.
I would add. I've looked at the substitutes. Roldan, he could potentially come in there at a pinch.
Yeah.
At right back.
He's played there for Seattle. Paul Arriola as well has played a little bit wing back. Nice.
I hope
he doesn't trust wingers converting to fullback.
People can
I love Paulie. I love Paulie, but they are not putting him at right back. Please do not put that. Don't put him at right back. But yeah, I would if obviously in a pinch, I would, Roldan would be a good fit, I think.
Who do you look to sort of be? Who's the pressure on in this game for you, DaMarcus? Like, or is there anyone particular? Do players feel that before a game like this? Does Christian Pulisic feel that? Does Pepe feel that?
Yeah.
Does Stefan
I think that the players put that pressure on themselves because it is a rivalry. It is a World Cup qualifier. You want to have those, as Matt talked about the bragging rights. It is what it is. That's what, as players, when you're walking like right now, we're seeing the 2 teams in the tunnel. You want that bragging right because they talk a lot. We don't talk as much as they do, but if push comes to shove, we will. But I think the pressure right now is more so on Mexico because of the fact that they haven't been playing well. There's been talk about the coach being fired. There's been talk about they haven't gotten to the new generation and trying to put in some younger legs in their group. So this is a big game for Martino. Not so much as far as the United States and what we could do here, but I think for pressure situations, Mexico for sure.
And Tata went for it today.
They have a strong lineup.
Well, and the young players that everyone he hasn't been giving chances to. He gave Johan Vasquez the start at center back. It's only his second start there. I think the other one was against the U.S. in Cincinnati where it went poorly. Arteaga in there, Charlie Rodriguez as well. So as DaMarcus said, like that's been the big question around Tata is he sort of has leaned back towards Guardado and Ache and Chaka Rodriguez and guys like that his whole tenure rather than trying to push the next generation through. He's back against the wall and he really went for it right now. So we'll see if it works for him. Again, these guys haven't really played together. He hasn't really worked with them a ton. And I think that's also to the advantage of the U.S. in trying to attack that back line.
By the way, halftime in Panama City. Panama coming off 1-0 leaders against Honduras. We don't have live standings here. Those will update when it actually goes final. But if it was, it would be Panama on 23 points, pushing up into second place. Of course, we're still waiting to see what happens with U.S. as well as Canada. Both of them are about to kick off right now. U.S. and Mexico walking onto the field at this moment. By the way, we had a pretty good comment here. Doyle, I got to find it here. It's from Sean Steffen. Shout out. Doyle wants to bunt the runner to second instead of taking 3 swings. SMH, such an old timer. He's just, trying to play a good, solid baseball here. Just trying to get runners around. All right, here we go. National anthem time. When you see this Mexico lineup, DaMarcus, there's some guys in here that you know pretty well, huh?
Yeah, I do. I even know back when I first came to Mexico, I was training with Pachuca, and that's when Hector was there. Ache. He was still in Pachuca, so we trained. So I trained with him for how long was I there? Maybe 8-9 days. So I know him from there. He was a really nice guy. Welcomed me into the team, and that was great. But yeah, Lozano, I played with played against a lot of these guys, and we played at some of the same clubs. So I think this is the strongest lineups both teams can present at this moment. That's why I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this game. You can't. I mean, I'm getting nervous now. Before I was like I'm chill, but now I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, build up. Now, start hearing those national anthems.
Now I'm getting a little bit nervous.
You know what will take the nervousness down just a little bit? I'm an idiot.
What's it?
And the standings are live, so we still, even if we were to lose, we would still be ahead of Panama with Panama coming. So Panama on 17 points, but the standings are live, so they're up to 20 right now. I did think it was interesting on the field that they had a little bit of a powwow. The Canaleros talking this thing over. Maybe they didn't get as much out of that first half as they would have wanted. Margin's so slim. They got to win that game. Honduras at home, they got to win that game. Oh, man. Tell me about Mexico, DaMarcus, while we wait for this thing to start. That decision to go, finding a club and playing at Puebla for a minute, man.
Yeah, I was there 3 years, man. And I'll be honest. I was a little bit hesitant because I didn't know quite how they would receive me, being obviously, yeah, exactly. Playing against Mexico and, that kind of our hatred that we have for each other at when I was playing. So I didn't know how they would receive me when I came to Mexico. But man, it was the total opposite. I love my time there. Anytime anyone asks me about my time in Mexico, I tell them to go. I tell them to, if you're in a good situation, a good city, because I know if you talk to Hercules, he'll tell you some horror stories, down there. But for me, man, Puebla is a beautiful city. The people, the fans, the food. The atmospheres in the stadiums. Because Puebla, it's about a 40,000 seat stadium, and when we played those big teams, it was full. We probably averaged about 18,000, probably something like that. But man, it was a great experience. I loved my time, and that got me back on that team, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it got me out, and I always wanted in my career. I always wanted to play in a Latin culture. If that was Spain, if it was Mexico, I just thought that would fit my game a lot as much as how I like to play. So it was a blessing going to Mexico, and I really enjoyed it, and my time was amazing.
What's the build up to games like this for? Like when you're there with Puebla and they know you're about to go to the U.S. and these World Cup qualifiers are coming and everybody starts getting on the pins and needles that we're on right now. Did things change at all? Did banter in the locker room? Did banter in the locker room?
Oh yeah, the banter. Yeah, man, the banter came. I'm sure they probably gave me a couple extra tackles and a couple extra bruises on my shins. But no, man, it was like I said, man. I'm telling you, it was a total opposite. I have nothing but respect for the Mexican people. They treated me with so much respect. And yeah, obviously with whenever I played against Mexico, it was some banter throughout the team. But as soon as we came back, because when I was in Mexico, I never lost against Mexico. I had 2 ties, and I had 2 draws, and we won 1. So I had bragging rights in that right. So, but no, man, it's all in good fun. The team, my teammates supported me, and it was cool. It was cool.
It's good to come back with wins and results.
Yeah, for sure.
That's nice.
For sure.
People are asking if Doyle died in the chat. Doyle's not. Yeah. He is not passed. He's still with us. He's having some internet issues. So
Doyle said he'd only show up for the Panama game because it's the only game that matters.
The only thing he cares about.
Yeah, come on now. Like math. Like the math says that he's got to save himself for Panama. If he uses all the emotions now, then where are they going to be for that one? Oh man. Even this pregame is taking too long. Like I feel like I try to take a nap today. I try to run errands. I try to do a bunch of stuff just to kill time, so I wouldn't think about this. We can't even.
So Andrew, I have a question. So for you, do you think it's smart to start your strongest lineup or wait till?
I would not. I would never. I just don't think playing
because I didn't hear from you. I don't
think playing a B team would have been the right decision. I think there's a lot of things he has to take into consideration. One of the big ones is like from a talent perspective, from a results perspective, we just put 3 L's on him in a row with different teams. Mm-hmm. I would go out and try to start the window in a way that instills belief and confidence in my guys.
Oh my God.
And from the start, like not even result wise, he's back. I'm just saying, Doyle's not gonna like it.
No, sorry. I wasn't reacting to you. They just showed the crowd.
I thought that was Doyle. I was like, Doyle's back.
I thought it was Doyle too. Yeah, I thought it was as well.
Costa Rica hasn't had fans for all of qualifying because of COVID. They just showed the stadium as Canada walks out. They're setting off fireworks. It's packed to the gills. It is a whole different monster that they have to deal with and the U.S. will have to deal with than any other team.
I was in San Jose in 2013, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
The place was crazy. After the snow game, when you guys were going back to Costa Rica after the snow game in Denver, those fans were absolutely wild. They were ready to get it. They were.
Oh yeah.
They had people outside the stadium. I don't know if they're selling them or what the deal was with snowmen that they were like beating up, like fake snowmen. It was weird.
You should have seen when we arrived in Costa Rica after that match. Oh my goodness, the media, the fans, they're beating on our bus, and I mean it was crazy. After that game, they were calling, obviously in Spanish I can understand. So cheat, I mean that was probably the most. I'm not gonna lie, that was probably the most. I'm trying to think. That was probably the most hostile arrival that we've had with the national team after that game. Only that just because of that the snow game.
Yeah, they were not
Seriously.
happy about that.
They were not happy. They were not happy.
To go back to the lineup thing, though, I just Mexico. If this is not some gigante Mexico team that you're just hoping to get a draw against, like you could heap all the pressure onto them. I know their schedule is easier after this than ours is, but to start the window in a way that, like I said, if you could get 3 points, let's say, or a point, but the belief, the confidence it instills in the guys, just the thought of hey, are we going to qualify for the World Cup? But we are going to qualify for the World Cup. Let's go do it. Like, it's in your hands. It's your responsibility. This is the final one of these games. This is an honor for you to play in it. I tend to go more on the emotional side of things. But I get Doyle's math, man. The math is not wrong. You got to get 3 points at home against Panama. But if we can't get 3 points at home against Panama, what are we doing?
That's the other part of it, right? If Jordan Morris and Jesus Ferreira and whatever, Pulisic coming off this game, that should be enough to score goals at home against Panama. And I think that's the other part of it. And since Doyle's not here, I'll play him, my older brother, Gonzalo Higuain, and would say it was enough to beat Trinidad and Tobago with nothing to play for in Cuba. That's what he would say, right? You don't know with CONCACAF. There's no obvious, nothing follows the right pattern. But at some point you have to have trust in your team. And Greg Berhalter has to believe that he's got enough of a deep enough squad to be able to win that game at home as well.
All right, we're a minute in, by the way, folks. If you're not watching, head over to CBS Sports Network. It's also on Paramount Plus. U.S. with an early cross picked out by Memo. So a nice early bit of aggression from the U.S. team.
DaMarcus, if Memo's still playing, you could still play.
Yeah, I can't play. Hey, I got about 10 minutes in me. I'm telling you. Real talk. I played last night because I played pickup here in Houston, and I strained my calf, man.
Do you play with random people?
I am not joking. I strained my calf last night.
DaMarcus can't get up, folks. If you want him to get up and move, he actually cannot do that at this point. Who do you play with? Do you have like a good group?
I have a good group. It's competitive. Ching comes out and plays sometimes as well. So yeah, it's a mix with some of the older guys, but they're Latin. There's Argentinians, there's Brazilians, so you got the skill aspect as well. So yeah, it's fun, man. It's real fun. I enjoy it.
What do you think this game is going to hinge on? What do you think Greg told these guys? Like tactically, how do you see this playing out, DaMarcus?
I mean, who's laughing?
Just Kellen Costa just got rocked to the ground.
I think I'm late. So I can't.
Am I the first?
That.
I'm at.
No, I just saw that too. Same 220. Well, I'm at 224 here.
Oh, I'm a little bit ahead. Okay, I'll stay quiet.
Hit that live button. It's a good foul to draw outside the box. That's these are sort of early opportunities we want. It'd be nice to have Weston right now.
Yeah,
that's true. He's really good in the box.
But
how much do tactics matter in a game like this, DaMarcus? Because
they do. You can't get stressed because if you ever been to Azteca, I'm sure you guys have. Yeah. It's a big field. It's a very, very big field. It's long, it's wide, and if you get stressed out and you start chasing after shadows, man, it's gonna be a long day. And with the altitude, can't do that. Can't do that. So yeah, tactics matter for sure. It's not all about just the emotion of the rivalry. Exactly.
Sure.
The emotion of the rivalry, and we want to win because we're USA and we don't like Mexico. No, you got to be smart. You have to be smart in how you go about this game.
Tough service there from Kellen Costa. Attacked DaMarcus left side of the 18, floated it out.
Do you know Atiba at all? Former PSG.
Hutchinson?
Yeah.
I mean, I know his name, but I never played with him.
He's 39. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah. Hey, man, stop it. Stop it. I know
I'm
what you're
just
trying to
get
do.
you back.
I know what
need
you're
you
trying
back.
to do.
Preki did it till he was like 42. He said he told us it was yoga. That's what the key was for Preki, yoga.
I didn't have that chop like Preki.
Yeah.
And he was nasty with it.
Yeah, he had his unstoppable move, no doubt about that.
He did.
Do you miss nights like this?
I do. These are the nights that I miss. Yeah, stuff like this. Friendly games, travel, league games, all that stuff. But no, these games is ones you remember. I can almost in the back of my head tell you about every time I played in Azteca or anytime I played against Mexico or there was a friendly, Champions League games. Like these are the games that you want to play and you want to be a part of. And I think that's why, to be honest, and I bring it back to Matt's point. I think this is why Berhalter came with this lineup. That's my thought process because the best players want to play in the best games, and you're not going to get games like this very often. So being able to play, I know it's a lot on the line, but to play against Mexico in Azteca and have an opportunity to win, that's huge.
And I think for a lot of these players, it's an opportunity to miss, right? Like this only happens, may never happen again. We've said that a couple times because of the nature of qualifying, and it feels like both teams will auto qualify for the next World Cup. Then the World Cup expands. Is this part of it? But even if you do have this, it happens once every 4 years, one time, right? If you miss it, there's no other opportunity. And I think when you look at the comments from Christian Pulisic this week and Paul Arriola and Tyler Adams, like they grew up wanting to play in this game. How can you call them to camp, say that they're the heart of your team, and then not give them that opportunity? And so this is their chance now. And this is where people's legacies are made, right? Games like this. Yeah. And you only get a few opportunities at a legacy. And obviously doing it at a World Cup would be huge. So that's the biggest key, is to get to Qatar, and even more than this. But this is pretty close.
Yeah. And I'll add something else as well. I know we talked about, my thoughts on Pepe and, Greg Berhalter giving him confidence. But I think him putting out his lineup, it breeds confidence throughout the whole team. Because if you're coming in, if you're Pulisic, this is my opinion, my thoughts. But if you're Pulisic coming to a game and Greg Berhalter says, hey, you know what? I'm not going to start you. I'm going to save you for another game. Then you go to maybe Tyler Adams, and then you go to maybe, Zimmerman or Stefan and say, okay, I'm going to rest you guys because I want you guys to be fit and ready for Panama. That goes through the team and be like, oh man, he doesn't have confidence in us. You know what I'm saying? Like as players, you talk, you think about those kind of things. So if he is putting all that confidence in his best players, if he to win this game, his best 11 that can win this game in Azteca, I think that bleeds throughout the whole team. Because if not, there might be some doubts in players' minds, and mentality is huge in this game. So that's something I would add as well.
And I think that's something.
Mostly Mexico's half, by the way, so far.
Yeah, it's been the start you wanted. I think that's also something Greg Berhalter's gotten better at. I think when he started, everything was, here's all my tactical ideas. We're going to have the right back shift into center mid. It was complicated. It was elaborate. And now I think he's starting. I think he's gotten a lot better at saying, I have to get my pulse on the culture of this team, the psychology of this team, if I want to win things, right? And every time you hear him or you see clips from the locker room or anything, it's about fight. It's about, the team. It's about the group, togetherness, all those things. He wasn't talking about that as much when he was the Columbus Crew coach and at the start. And I think that's something he's learned. And I think that goes back to CONCACAF, right? And you mentioned the tactics matter, but a lot of that other stuff matters even more in these games when you meet so rarely.
Yeah, I agree.
Mexico with the opportunity on the left side, service cut out by Walker Zimmerman. I was getting comfortable those first 6-7 minutes. I was like, yeah, that side of the field. Keep it there. This feels good. We're doing great. Now you see service come in, you get those little chills of like, no, not that. Not right now. Not right now.
I didn't think there was any chance we were going to see Weah in the starting lineup with that yellow card. I thought he was the guy to save for Panama because you need goals and attack, but I'm so excited to see him in this game because over the last 5-6 months, I think he's been the best U.S. attacker. and he brings a different element. His ability to press and then pick up the ball and just be 1v1 dangerous and create
dangerous.
for his teammates.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I thought Paul was going to start, to be honest, just because with his history with playing in Mexico and playing at the stadium, he knows he has experience playing in Mexico as well with the national team. So I thought he was going to get the nod. But I'm very, very happy with Timmy.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yellow card, Miles Robinson. Raul Jimenez spun out to the right side, brought it down.
Pretty high hand.
That's not a
soft
yellow.
As hell. That's
not
as
a
hell.
yellow.
That is
not a yellow.
I mean, come on, man.
There's gonna be a lot of yellow cards in this.
Like
game.
that touch, the touch was way long. It's not like Jimenez is getting to that ball. I know that maybe he touches a little bit of neck, but
no, I think it's because it was high. His hands were high. It was towards his face.
Oh, so soft.
That's
wow.
That's
not a yellow. That's not a yellow.
Not about that.
That's not a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Did we lose Doyle for the whole
I don't
show?
know, man. I don't know.
I told you.
The thing is, we have his B internet. It's the B team internet that he's got. Right
Yeah.
He didn't. He said, you know what? I need to go A team internet for the second game. This one's not going to be it.
Or maybe because he left because he didn't.
Right,
he didn't agree with what I said about us playing our first team.
We don't normally do. We haven't done these watch longs before, so we haven't. I don't know that I've ever seen, other than when we're together. I've never seen Doyle in prime USMNT anxiety, anxious mode. So
yeah, he's normally pretty anxious and angry when he's watching the US, and because normally we'll get on it towards the end, and he's also always 5 minutes ahead of us. So he's just screaming at the TV and then screaming at other teams as well. Ooh, John Herdman going with a nice relaxed fit look. I'm here for that.
What Mexico game is in your career, DaMarcus, is the one that stands out the most? What's the most vivid memory
and the one I didn't even play in, the World Cup, the World Cup match. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, I think just because of obviously the rivalry, but playing in a World Cup match against Mexico, your biggest rivalry, the first thing that Bruce said when we got Mexico is we're winning this game. That's what he said before our meeting. That as soon as that came out and we were playing Mexico, he said we're winning this game. We knew them. It was like home. All we had to do was just believe it, and we did. And I thought we had an unbelievable first half, second half, resiliency, all that. But yeah, that will always be the most memorable game. And not even playing it. I was on the bench. I was a cheerleader that game. So,
well, you should feel fortunate because if you were on the field,
of course,
you may have gotten the Kobe Jones hit.
Yeah,
man, I don't know what Rafa Marquez has against Kobe Jones, but he took it out on him that day.
Yeah, I mean, he did it against who was that? In Columbus.
Yeah, he did it against. Wow. I can't even remember right now. And he got a red card for that one as well.
And he got a red card. And he got a red card for that too. So, yeah.
That's going to drive me nuts.
I got to say, I got to give props to Tata, though, for wearing the transitions lenses at Azteca. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but his lenses on his glasses are going back and forth between regular glasses and sunglasses right now, depending on where he looks. The one thing we haven't talked about is it's not a full Azteca. It's I think it's 45,000.
Really?
Yeah. For COVID, maybe. And I know you there. Header Mexico saves Stefan. Cesar Montes.
I got to be quiet then.
No, I'm with you, DaMarcus. Wiebe's the one who's late.
Okay.
And then he does the little play-by-play, and it's like, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
excuse me. I already saw that. We all saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
It was the first good look of the game. Tecatito.
It was.
Has had a couple good looks now. So,
go on, Jedi. Go on. Shoot.
Big.
Oh.
See now. So now I'm getting the Doyle treatment.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
No,
you're good. Go for it.
No,
DaMarcus, we want those natural
true to your
reactions.
moment. Be true to your moment.
Okay.
Oh.
We're like a second apart.
I know.
Okay. That's a good chance.
What do you think of Musa, DaMarcus?
Love him. He's going to be, for one, he's going to be a great player, but he's such a great talent at such a young age. I mean, he has all the tools to be a real football player. Seriously.
I'll be right back.
What's up, guys? I'm back.
How you feeling those first 15 minutes or so here, Joe?
I'd feel a little better if Moose had buried that one. There have been some issues rotating back to cover when Jedi pushes up. There was one about 8-10, and there was another a couple minutes later, actually, on that set piece that led to the header that Stefan had to save. Both times there was some confusion between Acosta and Pulisic about covering back or just making sure the Jedi doesn't get stranded 1 versus 2. And if you look, Mexico's like their whole game plan through 15 minutes has been hit those big switches, try to isolate the U.S. fullbacks and go at them in space or getting behind. So the U.S. have to be sharper with those rotations, and whatever confusion is out there between Jedi and Acosta and Pulisic, they got to solve that, or a goal's coming from that side. Sorry, was that too much of a bummer?
No, I'm trying to rearrange all my windows right now so I can also watch Costa Rica. We just had a header over the bar by our guy Francisco Calvo.
And I just lost the game.
Chicago Fire legend. Get it pulled back up, man. That's what you get for spoiling it.
I know, right? I was hyped for a minute.
I gotta say, Honduras is putting Panama under a little bit of pressure here. They're making a better game of it than they have done throughout qualifying for the most part.
Oh man.
Did you guys think that yellow card on Miles was soft?
Yeah, I thought it was soft.
Very.
Dave was okay with it, but no, very soft, I thought.
I'm okay with it as long as you call it both ways, right? Like that's if you're consistent and you're calling the game like that,
it's just
okay.
It's just so early. There's just if you're saying that alone is a yellow card when he takes a heavy touch, has no chance to get to it, it's really not very much contact. I don't know. That's just, to me, in a game like this, the referee has to also sense the moment a little bit. And, like, I get it. Look, if he comes in hard, clears him out, leaves his feet on a tackle, whatever it might be, really, like, elbow into the face, okay. But to put one of the center backs 11 minutes in after no other fouls have occurred in that situation, I don't know.
Wiebe, you're the instant replay guy. You're the expert on officiating, so I'm going to defer to you here.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know if Pro or the other referees would always agree on that. I'm just an interested party with the laws. Just giving my takes out in these streets, man. Just whatever I feel. Just trying to convince Charlie to give some spicy takes from time to time.
So now with Mexico building up that right side, it looks like Acosta is coming out more to the touchline to, I think, provide a little bit of help, with Pulisic dropping deep and tucking in. The defensive shape's a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. The other thing that's jumped out at me early is that Pulisic has not had a good touch. He's had maybe 5 or 6 touches on the ball. Not one of them has been good yet. And maybe this goes to what DaMarcus was saying, like the first 15, 20 minutes, games like this, you're kind of just trying to catch your breath a little bit. You're trying to make sure you don't get overwhelmed. And the hope is that he'll grow into it.
DaMarcus, you saw Christian, be like dominant off the jump coming into the national team. Then you guys had the disappointment of Kuva, and now he has this pressure on his shoulders. He said sort of recently that maybe he was putting too much on himself. What did you see from Christian when he came into the national team, and what do you see from him now?
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of, and I'm not going to compare the two, but a lot of when Landon came into the national team. When you're young and you just want to play. That's all he wants to do. Doesn't matter the game, doesn't matter the opponent, the situation. He just wants to play football. That's it. And you saw that. You saw that in his play. He was, free and just it looked like he was having a ball when he was playing. Got kicked, got right back up, didn't whine. Quiet kid. And he's still that kid. But now, as he said it himself. He put that pressure on himself to be that he has to always score, dribble past two or three people. Always be the deciding factor. But now that he's starting to learn, and you learn that as you get older and you get more experience, that you lean more on your teammates, and that, okay, I don't have to do everything myself. I can rely on my teammates, and they can get me the ball. I don't have to run around and try to take it off someone's foot. They'll get me the ball. Have that confidence in your teammates. So he's growing each year. We see it when he's obviously at Chelsea, and now we see it even more when he's with the national team. And I think for him coming out and saying that and owning up to his kind of transition, I think that's a huge positive for him.
Mark Anthony Kaye just picked up a yellow card. Soft yellow card. This is softer than the one Miles Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, he goes it. He's late on the ball. He puts his foot up and he gets the ankle of the Costa Rica player.
So we got a bunch of people in our chat here. Basically, Derek Hall says his nerves have calmed down a little bit.
Vasquez with a yellow.
That should be a yellow. That should be a yellow.
Was that Alvarez or is that Vasquez?
That's Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are ahead of me. I don't know why I can never be.
Get cable.
No, I refuse.
That would help.
I'll just have like 80 different streaming options and just cobble it all together. But anyway, our chat is saying that their nerves have calmed down. Derek Hall. We got a bunch of people in here saying, hey, this feels like a draw waiting to happen. How are the nerves here? And a draw would be a decent result for one team.
They're going to VAR, by the way, in Costa Rica.
Yeah, this can't be a.
It
might be.
He's got a little.
It
bit
might
of
be a
stuff
red
going
card.
there. He's got a little.
That
bit
is
of
not
be a
that
red
high.
card.
That is like
For who?
on Mark Anthony Kaye. That's
man,
not. That's soft. Get out of here if that's a red
I don't know
card.
if I can trust your judgment on soft or not soft anymore, though. To be honest,
I play hard, Wiebe.
He does hit straight leg into the shin. He's over the top of the ball.
It's not straight leg. He's reaching for the ball.
I mean, his leg is straight.
Get out
But
of
it
here.
is not. But it is not a. It is not a. He did not leave his feet. To me, I think what you have to look at in this one is like excessive force or brutality. No, to me, I think I'm with you, Dave. I don't.
He's
think
reaching for the ball and the guy strikes through, and they make contact. That would be a horrendous red card to call. Which
he is very late.
Sorry, I'm probably behind all of you on the USA game, which is by the way.
That was late. Yeah, that was late.
Well, it just happened for me, so at least somebody's here. Wow.
Beasley's,
but if there is,
Beasley's already on to the Panama game. He's not even watching.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Game is over.
If you're like they've been at the video
card-
review
is it
board
red
here
card?
in this
No.
Costa Rica Canada game for like 3 minutes, just when I'm watching. I don't.
CONCACAF, baby.
And this was
No
always
red card.
this was always
No
my
red
worry
card
with
for Mark
VAR and
Anthony Kaye.
CONCACAF and video reviewing CONCACAF. What's he going to say? No red card. No. He says no. Okay. That's a clear-minded decision by the referee, I think. There we
You
go.
gotta love the rollout of VAR right in the middle of World Cup qualifying.
Yeah, and
Great
also the
effect.
thing is that unless these referees were in U.S. or Mexico, none of the other leagues had it. So you were having to
That's a
over-index. You're
Thank
having to
you.
over-index on referees from certain leagues, and then everybody else didn't really have experience with it. And then you're going to drop them in and make them make these calls in the biggest moments possible in the region.
Over index is good corporate speak, Wiebe. Where
You
did
like
you pick
that?
that up?
Well,
Are they
let's circle-
pulling you into board meetings?
Let's circle back on that here in a little while.
put a pin in
I'll
it.
follow up offline, all right? And we'll make sure that we really cover all the...
Bees, you're running a team now, Bees. So if you need someone to tutor you on like boardroom bullshit speak, then
Yeah.
Wiebe is
I
your
got you.
guy.
Weebe's the guy.
I'm ready.
Right.
We'll get some cards ready, and we'll just start.
Yeah,
We'll just start them off in
Perfect.
strategic situations. The key is that nobody knows actually what you're talking about, but that you sell it with as much confidence as humanly possible that you do. All right, free kick opportunity that you guys have probably already seen come to fruition or not.
Notice
so
it's Pulisic taking him now. Kellen's
Yeah.
first two were pretty bad.
yeah, they were bad.
Good tackle. I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So what do you guys think about Berhalter always changing the captain's armband? I just have what do you guys think about that? I know it's probably been talked about, but just me hearing it from you guys, I just want to know you guys' opinions.
I've never been an athlete, so I don't know how much that matters. But I feel like if the players themselves are into it and it matters to them, then you got to be okay with it. Oh boy.
It also feels like there's been a lot of moments, particularly in the early couple years.
Why step?
Where they just didn't have continuity within the team, right? And especially in some of the guys, whether it be Christian, whether it be Adams, whether it be Weston, between injuries and other circumstances, you didn't have the same guys together all the time. So it didn't really feel like there was a moment where I was like, okay, this is the dude. He is always going to be in the lineup. We can rely on that. You're the captain. That's it. So it sort of felt like he had to bounce it around a little bit by necessity, just on what personnel were available.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like he's got a pretty good.
Oh boy,
he's got a pretty good sort of communication structure within the team.
Shaq Moore is playing on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yedlin just picked up a yellow.
Yep,
so he's suspended for Sunday.
He's out.
And now we got 2 of our 4 defenders. That's a yellow.
Agree.
That's a yellow right there.
I agree.
Miles,
he did not.
Maybe not, but he got his money's worth. Absolutely there.
He knows it. Yeah, he knows it too. He knows it. He didn't.
Now I got to Google and see the last time Shaq Moore played.
Ooh.
I have it on a doc. I think he's made 2 sub appearances over the last month or something.
That's better than nothing.
What do you think about the captain moving around, DaMarcus? In a team that you were on, would that be weird to you?
No. Yeah, it would be. I'm old school. I like you got 2 captains in the team. You know who they are. You respect that, and you go from there. I don't like the changing of. I know that in the beginning, obviously, because they're all new players and trying to figure out, who could kind of lead the team. I wasn't a fan of. Yeah, I get it, but I'm not a fan of Greg saying, "Oh, well, they're all leaders. They're all cap." Yeah, of course, that's what you always say. But I wasn't really. I'm not a fan of him always changing the captain's armband every single game.
Do you think Tyler is the guy for that going forward?
In this group, I think so.
1-1 Honduras goal. Woo!
Oh, yeah, he scored. Oh, nice. Nice.
That's what we boys, but you're playing for us.
Who scored?
I don't even know.
Even Bolillo, things are so bad for
Honduras. No.
Bolillo is not even. He's not even celebrating. He's literally rooted to the bench, acting like nothing happened right now. He's been through the ringer, man. So he's seen it all.
What DaMarcus was just yelling about a second ago.
Oh, thank God.
The U.S. left side is just an absolute wreck right now. Every time Jedi pushes forward, there's just a massive gap behind him. Nobody's rotating into cover. So Mexico's finding so much room to get up their right side, the U.S. left side. And they have to figure it out. The players on the field have to figure it out.
Well, you saw Stephen and Adams having a pretty heated conversation after that.
Yeah. Lose the ball in the midfield, and now, goodness gracious.
Man.
Who scored for Honduras?
I'm still waiting to see. After you guys started yelling about, trying to monitor 3 games is the hardest thing in the world sometimes. Yeah. Let's see.
Kevin Lopez.
I mean, they don't have their top attacking players. So whoever was going to be the difference maker here was not going to be.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I mean, hey, Kevin Lopez is a guy that we should be familiar with. Recently.
Why is that?
Comunicaciones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Kyoto's there.
Yeah, he was really good in all those games too. He took a ton of the set pieces.
Yeah, he just has made the change to Comunicaciones in the last
from Motagua. All right, yeah.
And Alex Larine from El Salvador, who's been really good, was on that Comunicaciones team as well. The squad. Okay, Doyle, explain to me what happens if Costa Rica ties. How does that change my life?
If Costa Rica ties, then the U.S. qualify for the World Cup with a win over Panama.
And that's it.
Nice.
You don't need anything from Mexico or Costa Rica.
Correct.
Oh,
Ooh,
right.
my life just
I like
got
that.
better.
I like that.
Yeah.
Costa Rica could only catch the U.S. with a 9-point window.
That's true. I did. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
they-
Yeah.
The benefit for them is
Assuming that the U.S. beats Panama.
Right.
Mhm.
Or wins this game, actually. If the U.S. win tonight and Costa Rica drops points, Costa Rica cannot finish above the U.S.
What's up,
So
chat?
what else has to happen if with the U.S. qualifying tonight? They have to win,
Let's
and
see.
what else?
If-
I knew there was something.
If
I
we
remember reading about it.
win,
Wait,
If
I
the-
realized
if
that
we
I
win,
just said
if we win to
Costa
get to
Rica.
20, if we win to get to 24 points, because it's a live standing, so we have a point from the current draw. If we get to 24 points, and and Costa Rica lose,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're at 16 points, they can't catch us.
Right, but that doesn't qualify us automatically.
There was
Correct.
one scenario that we could
I think-
qualify tonight.
I think it's
But I can't remember
if we win and Panama lose and Costa Rica draw or lose.
There it is. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Yep. That's it.
Though bear in mind with that, if we win and Panama draw, they can still catch us on points, but I think we would have like a +8 goal differential.
Yeah, our
at
goal
least.
differential is better.
Yeah.
But God bless Honduras for doing their part, man.
Yeah, if you're
Mhm.
a U.S. fan watching this stream right now, you're a big Honduras fan and you're a big Canada fan.
Did we send Jonathan Bornstein down as an emissary?
No, Jonathan is, I think he is in Mexico. Because I was trying to get him to come on with us for the Panama match, but I think he's the man's living across borders. He's got a cosmopolitan life that he lives.
You're talking about the volunteer assistant coach for the Northwestern men's soccer team.
and a scorer of volleys.
Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah,
having
I actually did see that goal.
Yeah,
I
he's
did
having
see
a
that
resurgence, baby. It's
Yeah.
good stuff. It's good stuff. How do you feel, DaMarcus, watching future Houston Dynamo designated player / potential legend Hector Herrera in this match?
Yeah, I like it. I think in a lot of ways. I think Houston is trying to rebuild that trust with the fan base. They're going back into tapping into the Hispanic market, which is huge here in Houston. So it ticks all the boxes. The owner. I don't know him. I haven't met him, but he's for lack of a better word, he's putting his money where his mouth is. He said he's going to change. He said he's going to put money into the team. He said he's going to invest in the team. He's going to value the youth and the development and put a lot more emphasis on that. So from the beginning, since I've been in Houston, watching it from afar, he's done everything he said so far. So it's really great to see, and I hope that they can, reclaim, the greatness that they had back in, the 05 and 6 days for sure.
Y'all keeping Coco? I love Coco Carrasquillo.
Yeah,
man.
he's good. Yeah,
he's a good little player.
He is. I hope they do. Him and Herrera in the middle.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. But now, everyone in Houston excited for Ache to come. So, he's still a world class player. I like him a lot.
He was so good against Atletico or against Man United for Atletico.
He was
3 weeks
He
ago.
was.
Like especially that first leg, he was awesome.
Yeah, on his day, he's a really, really good player.
He's had a lot of days, man.
Did we like that lack of advantage call there?
I actually did. Because there was nobody coming into the box for Pepe to give service to, and he wasn't going to, dribble it in and score a messy goal. So I was okay with that.
We got a little. You guys are probably already know what the result is here, but we got Walker and Christian doing a little whispering beforehand, and now Kellen's back over it.
It didn't amount to nothing. All right, hey, Wiebe, sorry, man, sorry.
See, now I'm like building myself up here. I'm like, what will happen? It's nothing. Don't worry your head about that. All right, it's nothing. It's nothing. Hey, chat, hit us up. I'm watching the chat right now, folks. So if you're watching, if you can't watch, if you just want to get a good story out of DaMarcus or prompt us on something you need talking about, we're of course watching all these CONCACAF games going on right now live in this window. Panama won, Honduras won. That's why you see Panama on 18 points right now. It's 0-0 in San Jose, Costa Rica, between Costa Rica and Canada. Costa Rica were strong in the last window, 7-9 points. They got to keep that form, maybe even do one better to get into the World Cup. Top 3 automatic. We know that. You see the line on the screen. That 4th team is going to play most likely against New Zealand in a 1-game playoff against Oceania. But you don't want to be in that position. You want to be in the top 3. You want to automatically qualify. What
happened? What happened?
What? Excuse me. What?
Rebecca!
Oh, man, he missed it. How did he miss that?
Oh, is that Pulisic?
God.
So now,
This is even worse. This is people in the chat saying I have Midwest dial-up. It feels like it. Oh my God! See, I'll just try to give you the reaction I would have had otherwise.
He just 100% has to bury that, man.
He's on the
and that's
doorstep.
his chances too. The
Yeah,
one
and the form
touch
he's in
arriving
at
in the
the moment,
box.
yeah,
those
he's
are the
got-
ones he
he's got
scores
it.
for Chelsea.
he's got to put that away. He's got to put that one
Really
away.
nice off the throw into the little drop off ball through. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
It like
So
bobbles
Doyle, you're
right
ahead
on
of
his foot.
everybody then.
This is
That's
normal. We thought we had
That's right.
we thought we had fixed this. We thought technology had solved this age-old problem.
Bees,
of Doyle.
I'm an old man. I can't go without my cable TV.
Yeah.
It's like,
We're lucky
what?
we got him off the soap operas to watch
No
the game.
kidding. Like, come on. Now's about the time he's watching reruns on TBS and TNT.
I got my QVC. You know,
I was about to say Doyle's buying a new egg cooker on QVC.
Yeah. All right. Hey, chat. Tell us what Doyle watches at night on cable. That's what I want to hear from you right now. Entertain us. And now
And this-
Christian's
can I
holding
just
his
say,
knees.
these are the
Hopefully not an
ones-
injury.
I think we talked about it yesterday or this morning. I don't know because we talked so much. Those feel like the chances that when Pulisic's come on as a sub and he's played sort of free,
Yup.
he's finished. It's as a starter that there's some sort of block there for him. And he scored against Mexico in Cincinnati. Where was the more recent one? Honduras or El Salvador?
Ooh, big chance Panama over the bar. Big chance. Hey, DaMarcus, Martin Reyes hit us up here. Says, where do you play, like positionally in pickup? What's your pickup vibe? Are you getting back on D, or are you just like, guys, that was a different era of my life?
I still had that competitive.
That's why you got the calf
in my
pull.
body.
I
do exactly.
If you were a little more lazy, you'd be walking without pain right now.
And I'm 100%. I'm telling you, I scored a goal. So listen, I took a shot with my left foot. I landed on my right, and that's how I straightened my calf.
Right post goal.
I'm telling you, but no, yeah. I'm a number 9, number 10. I pass the ball. I try to thread the needle.
There you go.
I'm not defending much.
That's the beauty of pickup. You can be what you see in your mind's eye. Me too in pickup.
Exactly.
I don't have
You're the Darwin Quintero of pickup.
I'm trying to go back to my old days. You know what I'm saying? Like to my youth, not my older career. No.
Oh, these people that made you an outside back, they can't control you now.
Yeah, chasing them wingers around.
They can't tell you what to do. We got Doyle. We got reruns of Green Acres. Maybe Nick at Night for you here. Law and Order reruns.
I was never into any of that. Well, I would do Cheers.
Columbo?
Big Cheers guy.
We got a Columbo.
You're a big Cheers guy. Doyle puts on a Larry Bird
100%.
jersey and watches.
Crease 2008 just said Cheers reruns. They right
For
before you
sure.
said that. He predicted this. He had it nailed.
Well, he wins.
He had it nailed.
Well, did Weah just get a yellow card too? So now Weah's out on Sunday.
This is going well.
Oh, you were ahead of me. Yeah, that's a yellow card. I think he just
Lucky
kicked
it's not
him in
red.
the face.
Hey, Tata came on the field too. Goodness.
And
Tata
so
doesn't
red card for
Tata goes where
somebody
he
on
wants.
Canada. Somebody on Canada just got a red card. I didn't see that because I was looking at the scrum in the
Lord.
U.S. game.
It's off the ball too. Is it
it's-
Jonathan David?
No, it's Mark Anthony K. I think it's I don't even think it was a second yellow. I think it went
Is
straight
that
red.
a second yellow?
Yeah, I can't tell.
Well, there's a yellow card out right now.
He went what I
It
just
was
saw.
a straight dive from the Costa Rican.
We've never seen that.
I think it's
before.
Venegas on the ground.
Is it Venegas or is
I
it?
think so.
Oh
or is
yeah,
it
or
Joel
is it Joel
Campbell?
Campbell?
Feels like a Joel Campbell special.
No, but that's not
It's
Joel
not-
Campbell.
it's
Joel
not
Campbell's
Joel Campbell,
standing
yeah.
up.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, it's another yellow to Mark Anthony K, and then second yellow into red.
You got to know better than that, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting on a
Yeah,
yellow.
now Kendall Waston's. Now they're yelling at. No, it was. Yeah, it was Venegas, who, by the way, is going Johan on the back of the kit, which I respect.
Ooh.
Going full Johan.
There hasn't been a ton of possession for Mexico.
Neither team. It's a
Yeah,
bit scrappy. That's normal. A bit scrappy. You guys all know that. You guys seen enough Mexico USA games.
Mm-hmm.
that's where you get nervous off that chance for Pulisic, where you're like that's not,
Exactly.
that's not coming.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not just like, well, we'll just get another one of those. Like,
Yeah.
it's not coming.
I can't believe Kay just got a red card.
And that's that means a lot. Even if it means a lot to not be in that lineup when the national anthem plays, potentially if they qualify, but otherwise to play in that game to seal it at BMO against Jamaica. Herdman's out here just like looks like he just took the pre-workout, just flexing, screaming out of his mind right now. I still remember though the Joel Campbell, Matt Beasley play.
I'll never forget that.
Wasn't that what got Jurgen fired?
Go on.
No.
Wasn't that the game that he got fired after?
No. That was the Joel Campbell one was that was a 2014 cycle.
Yeah, it was 2013 in San Jose.
Right.
And then the next game was Mexico in Columbus, I think.
Yeah.
And that was the win in qualification.
It was the 4-0 loss in the next cycle that got out of Costa Rica.
Right.
Oh.
So now you have to play Weah and Yedlin 90, right?
I think so.
If they can't play
you would
next
think
game,
so.
you might as well use them.
Unless Yedlin is, on that edge of getting beat and you need to take him out
Come on,
because,
Kyle.
Because it'll
you
be a red card.
can't go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the worst scenario, obviously.
What's
you
it
guys
like to
decided if that's the case, then it's Roldan who comes in as the backup right back?
I would think so. I mean, what do you guys think? I would say Rodon, but
It's either him or Areola.
Or that.
Yeah.
Marcus does not want Paul to play.
no, I do not want him to play right back.
He's
No.
like, my buddy and my friend, but you will
He's
not.
no.
Yeah, let's not go that direction.
Nope.
The other thing
please,
is you move Kelvin to right back and
Yeah.
you bring
yeah,
in
that's true.
Gio
that's
or
true.
De La Torre to central midfield.
Yep. I'm sure that he would probably do that more so
Yeah.
before he pushed in Christian. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Christian feels like
US are losing the game a little bit right here, like losing control of it. Since the Pulisic miss, they haven't settled down. Mexico's a little reinvigorated. They're pressing more. US just kind of like booting it out, which is fine. Just like at this point, just get to halftime.
Yeah, just get to halftime.
What's it like to play on a yellow card in this situation for Yedlin, DaMarcus?
I mean, it's difficult because they're going to go at you. Mexico, obviously, we know they're going to have the ball a lot, and they like to create 1v1. Okay, they like to create 1v1 positions on the wings. So yeah, it's difficult because I remember when I was playing against it wasn't the last game. I think it was 2000. I want to say 13, and I was I had Aquino on my side, and I got a yellow card in the first 8 minutes of the match. So then I just had to be careful. You can't go into every tackle. You have to give a little bit of space. But then you just gotta be smart. I think that's where experience comes in, and I think that's where experience is going to come in for DeAndre. He knows that. He knows he can't go and dive into tackles and be as aggressive as he wants to be. So hopefully he'll be fine.
Oh, get that corner kick. Hey, you guys already know. What the? It's like so clearly a corner kick.
That Chucky chance, though, that's a huge way they create opportunities. When Jimenez drops in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he runs through the middle. Yep.
And he's a legit goal scorer once he gets inside.
He is.
Uh-oh.
Stefan's service distribution has been a little tough.
He looks like a goalkeeper who hasn't played much recently.
Didn't he start against, I don't know, pick a B, right? It's in England. It's an FA Cup game.
Pick a B. Some championship
Bumblebee
team.
FC.
Brentford, Bradley.
They played Southampton.
There you go. It was a real team.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all killing y'all. Come on, man. Y'all killing it right now.
Yeah, there's a joke that we have that every team in England starts with a B.
Okay.
Brentford, Barnsley, Burnley, Bradford
every team in the
City.
championship. They're all
West Brom
Birmingham.
just goes by Brom.
Brom, yeah.
Birmingham City. Basically, any team Daryl DK was on or potentially going to be sold to, all
Start
started.
with
Bristol City. In there Bristol
there
City?
we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
now. See now.
Hey,
you're
so
right
can I join y'all group now?
Yeah, you're part of the gang here, dude.
I'm part of the group. All right,
Everything
thank you.
starts with a B. And then we just started being like, oh, well, Bell C and just throwing B's on everything, just being ridiculous.
Marcus, I'd say you've probably accomplished a bit too much in your life to be a part of our group, but you're always welcome if you want to.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a part of the B group now.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Oh man.
Hey, DaMarcus, let me ask you this, because you spent some time with Man City, right? So do you feel like an affinity for them when you watch them play, or is that like your team is more PSV, Rangers, one of those?
I mean, I'll be honest, and that's a good question. I feel more. It is, though. Be honest, because I feel more closer to PSV and Rangers because I was there longer, and because Man City has changed so much. There's a couple people that in the club that are still there, but not many. And so that's true. I do feel a little bit closer to Rangers, PSV, Puebla, not just because of the length of time I was there, but just because of how the club has changed so much, from when I was there to now. So
Puebla's in first, right?
Yeah, they are. Well, are they still?
Or second? They were top.
Yeah,
top
first
two.
and second. Yeah, top two. Yeah. They're playing well right now. Because like the last, I'm thinking the last person that was a teammate of mine on that Man City team was Joe Hart. And then when he left, that was it. So whenever it was I think he left in like 2000, I want to say 2011 maybe or something. And that was the last one. And after that, it's been all, superstars basically. So
probably one player they've signed in the last year equals all of the money they spent in a full season.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, when I was there, oh yeah, for sure. So, I think we got I think we ended up 14th or 15th in the league my year. So yeah, it's night and day. It's night and day. But I still support them, obviously.
Right. But they're not your team.
Yeah, they're my team, but I feel closer to the other clubs that I played for
that
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But if Pep calls you up and he's like, "Hey, man,"
I'm there.
No,
and I'm gonna tell you, I expect the same treatment. So when I go to Manchester, I'm like, "Hey, I did play for you guys for a year.
Where's my box?
Yeah, where's my box? I need to go into training. I need to see a new facility.
Yeah. Jerseys for everyone who comes with me, obviously.
Exactly.
We are not paying for food and drink. We would never do that. But the chat is killing me, by the way. The chat just throwing out, putting B's on everything. It's just Bo Hart, like everything. They just can't help themselves. Some ridiculous people watching this game.
Did you guys make it to halftime?
Yeah, we're at halftime. All right, halftime thoughts. Doyle, get us started. What do you think?
I thought the U.S. played really well. Pulisic is having another one of those games where it's like he feels like the weight of the world is on him, and so he's not performing. And if he was up to his usual standard or the standard he's been playing at with Chelsea, then the U.S. is going into this with the lead at the break. That's one. Two is like, okay, I don't think we made some smart decisions with regard to personnel because we're now without Timothy Weah for the game against Panama, and we're without DeAndre Yedlin as well. They both picked up yellow cards in the first half, and they're suspended for the Panama game, which is brutal. But whatever, we got depth. Go team.
Well, the one we're watching now, outside of Stefan, is obviously Tyler Adams on that yellow card watch. That's what we're really, really watching the second half outside the obvious, which is the scoreline. Speaking of scorelines, it's 0-0 in Costa Rica between Costa Rica and Canada. It is 1-1 in Panama. Honduras has a goal on the road that is absolutely massive. Go to the chat. Minute. Yeah, hit us up, chat. What do you want to talk about? What do you think at halftime? Who was the player of the match so far? Has your preview or your prediction changed? What do you look at in the second half? DaMarcus, what do you think they're talking about in the locker room right now?
I think they're happy with to go in 0-0. I think both teams had Tecatito. If he would have had a better touch, he could have put one away. That they both had shots over the bar. Obviously, Pulisic missed a huge chance. That was the best chance of the first half. But I think they'll be okay. I think they know they can give a bit more. I think their pressure in the first half was decent. They didn't get broken down too much. They made a couple of chances. Towards the end of the first half, winning the ball in Mexico's half, and then getting it to Pulisic and Pulisic laying it off to Wiebe, but he shot over the bar. They're picking up the ball in good spots at times with their pressure. So I think they're happy with the 0-0 draw at halftime, but they can give a bit more, and they will.
I just rewatched the Mark Anthony K second yellow. It's a very Mark Anthony K moment.
He takes a quarter of an inch movement towards Vasquez with
he
his
gives
shoulder.
him, he gives him you're walking in the hallway.
Goal Costa Rica. Costa
Rica.
You're walking in the hallway and you bump somebody with your shoulder who you got a little beef with. Good header. Really nice header. Right before halftime, that's a killer for Canada.
For the US.
More so a killer for us. Yeah, that's a bummer.
I will say.
Yeah, he shoulder bumped Venegas, and Venegas knew what the deal was. He's on a yellow, and Venegas just went down and rolled around a bunch. And that's a veteran move, you might say. If you're watching with us right now, you can see that a little bump. Look at him go down.
Yeah,
Whoa, he just let the feet fall out from underneath you. Went for the little face grab. Yeah, it's just a silly moment when you're on a yellow.
Buba Lopez is down for Honduras. I will say Canada is set up, even down a man, to be able to.
Is the Panama game still 1-1?
Still 1-1. 90th minute. Honduras' keeper is down, getting a little bit of treatment. He just took a hard fall, came out to claim a cross, and fell on his hip. They're using the magic spray, which, as we know, always works. It has plus 10 healing potency in Central America.
You a magic spray guy, DaMarcus? You're like give me
that cold spray, man. Hey, it worked for a minute. I'm telling you.
Just distracts you. It's like, oh, it's cold now. All right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Yeah,
different stuff. We need to have magic spray for I need some magic spray for, I don't know if anybody knows here. They might. I'm a father here, but for your kids on the playground, man, you need the magic spray just to end all the whining. Like, you're good. You're good. You got the cold spray. Get up. Go play. Mm-hmm. Give me some space.
That's a fairly legendary goal from Borges, by the way.
Yeah.
That guy's a CONCACAF legend.
Yep.
I mean, and that's huge for a lot of reasons. Panama's sitting here at home, 1-1, going to 6 minutes of stoppage time. They've now been jumped on scoreline at least. Costa Rica has to hold on, obviously, but they got a 10-man Canada to do it against. But Costa Rica would jump up into that 4th spot and would put even more pressure on Panama. And there's already a lot on both those teams going into this game in Orlando. Then, of course, Panama has Canada to finish it off. So they've got a hard path. They didn't have the best window last time around. And they're in a little bit of a tricky position here if these standings hold.
DaMarcus, when you're in Europe and other CONCACAF guys are there, are they people that you know, like Brian Ruiz, if he's hanging around?
Yeah, you know who they are. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's still about respect. Unless something crazy or disrespectful happen on the field, it's all respect. I'll tell you this. So there was once when I was playing with PSV, and there was a they play those charity games, to raise money for different charities and this and that. And I was there with Rafa Marquez, and he represented Mexico. I represented United States, and any old school legend. It's like I'm talking like Ronaldinho, Zidane. All these names were there. Beckham, Cafu, like these type of guys. And we were on the same team. And, obviously playing against him and obviously that rivalry, that kind of, that dislike already, but the nicest guy. we spoke, you know what I'm saying? Like we said hello. I spoke a little bit of Spanish, back then. It was broken, but I spoke a little bit. And, we just said hi, you shake hands and say, how's everything? And it's just a respect thing and between footballers. So, but yeah, anytime you see guys in CONCACAF, there's nothing happened. And yeah, there's still respect there.
We had a question here come in from AF892. You can see it on screen. Hit us up in the chat. We'll throw it up there and talk about it. When do the changes start coming for the U.S.? Probably not at halftime, I wouldn't think, but what are changes you guys could see coming here in the second half?
Oof.
I would assume Jesus Ferreira comes on at some point.
Yeah.
Pepe hasn't really had a ton of touches. He's going to play it a little different. And as we said, there you go. At Van agrees. And you'd assume if you are keeping Weah on, Ferreira is a guy who could sort of link up with him a bit, especially if Pulisic stays on as well. So I'd assume he comes on at some point. That would be the one at halftime I wouldn't be shocked to see because we've seen Greg make changes in the center forward spot at halftime before. That would be probably the first one I'd expect.
And you would put him over PFOC to come in this match?
I don't know. The one thing is PFOC is on a yellow card, and I do think he starts against Panama at home because you'll have possession, you'll have chances, and he can sort of live in the box and finish for you rather than here. Is he going to come back and pick it up for you? Is he going to stretch the line? There's more work for him to do, and I don't know that that's what he's good at.
Right.
But based off what Greg's done so far, you're right that he hasn't really looked to the Panama game and the decisions he's made. So
yeah,
he could roll him out there now.
I mean, if Areola is going to have to play, which it seems like he's going to have to play with Weah out against Panama, I would like to see Areola and Ferreira play together.
And when do you guys think, when do they bring on Gio?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, do
they bring him?
There you
go.
I think given that he played 90 this past weekend for the first time in 6 months, and again, like the Panama game is just bigger, I think you just keep Gio on the bench. I think you go without him in this game. If you need a midfield sub, you have De La Torre. I like De La Torre a lot.
I do too.
Yeah, like I would be fine with bringing De La Torre in for either. Honestly, I would consider bringing him in for Tyler and put a Costa back at defensive midfield, just because I don't want Tyler picking up a yellow card, and missing Panama as well. Honduras on the break, 5 minutes into stoppage time. Well, they got a corner out of it, I think.
No, it's going to be a goal kick.
Goal kick.
Taken quickly by Panama. We have people in the chat wondering what's going on there, so we'll keep you updated on that one in this halftime as we wait and see. You see this
inserted as the 12th player.
Pounding the ground after that miss. That was a tough moment. Could you see, like, from an attacking standpoint, is it Areola off the bench? Is it Jordan Morris? If you're talking about on the wing, or you roll Weah and Pulisic and just say, hey, this is it. It's on you guys. Like, you're our best attacking players. Find a way at Azteca.
I think Greg is obviously talking to Weah to be smart. I think they'll keep him on until maybe I don't see him playing the whole match. I don't.
Yeah.
With Jordan Morris, with Paul, I don't know. I just don't see him with a yellow card, and obviously tired legs. Sometimes you make dumb decisions. And he's going to be doing a lot of running, pressing back and forth. Helping DeAndre a little bit. I just think, I think you got Jordan or Paul to come in for Timmy, for Weah at some point.
So I would actually be more likely to sub off Christian, because like with Timmy, he's out the Panama game anyway, right? Like so let him empty the tank and do what he can for 90 minutes and say, all right, we'll see you on Wednesday against Costa Rica, whereas Christian, you're going to need him on Sunday against Panama. So to me, it's like if the game's there at 65 minutes, okay, maybe leave Christian in. But like if it's not, and you're just going to be playing on the break, why not bring Jordan in for Christian and say, okay, we're just going to, we're going to back it up a little bit. We're going to hit on the break. We'll use Morris's speed. We'll keep Christian at least a little bit, 25 minutes fresher for this huge game on Sunday. And I know players don't always think about that. And I know he obviously wants to play 90 minutes. It's probably eating him up that he missed that chance. He's dying for another chance like that. But like, if you're the coach, you have to think like that. It's your job to think like that, to put your team in the best possible position to get to the World Cup.
The other thing I'd say about Weah is he hasn't started in the last month for Lille. So he hasn't played 90 since the last camp. He was starting every single game, and he's sort of gotten pushed out of it. So when you talk about tired legs, the experience at the Azteca, the altitude, the energy of the game, all that.
Final whistle, Panama, Honduras, 1-1. Panama dropped 1-1.
Nice.
That is huge.
That is massive.
That is absolutely huge for the U.S. because now, even if they only draw against Panama on Sunday, the U.S. are guaranteed no worse than fourth place. So now
that's the positivity I like to hear.
Yeah, let's go. No worse. Say it with me. No worse than fourth.
The goal is to go to Qatar, right? The goal is to go to Qatar.
The goal is to go to the World Cup.
No, the goal is to go to Qatar, whether it's for the World Cup or the one-game playoff against New Zealand to get to the World Cup.
We don't talk about that one-game playoff. We just talk about going to Qatar for the World Cup. Oh, man.
Sure, I can't believe you're questioning the strength of
CONCACAF,
and you're telling us not to predict any results, and you're already putting New Zealand over New Caledonia and the Solomon Islands like it's a given? Get out of here.
I want to say Caledonia. I want to say it was 7-1 New Zealand on Caledonia here recently. Boy, this is a tough moment for Panama. Really tough moment for them.
Wow.
Not as bad as 2013 was in this exact stadium when Zusi gave him a lifeline, but gave Mexico a lifeline, I should say. But man, this is given the form that they had, given the place that they stood, they're going to have to. So now they're going to have to go to the U.S. and they're going to have to host Canada and go from there. Hit us up. Matt Sunshine Doyle is what they're calling you in the comment section, by the way.
I thought that was a completely reasonable take. It's good math, right?
Yeah,
what's the U.S. in a situation?
Math is not something that plays in this fan.
No, math is not
at
national team based.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
No.
I think I need a nickname though. We got Sunshine Matt.
Yeah, well, you gotta. All right, here we go. Comments. Let's go. Give DaMarcus a nickname.
I need a nickname.
While we wait for him, Phantom 89X hit us up. Says, "What's DaMarcus' most crazy away game experience in the Hex? Was it that Costa Rica match you were talking about in 13, or was it a different game?"
No, a different game. That was just at the airport. Let me see. I would probably say. I'll probably say El Salvador. I think that was one of the most craziest, hectic, places to play. I think in the Hex. I would.
What made it so hectic?
I mean, just the fan base. I mean, I know this is cliche, and you guys are probably gonna kill me. You guys have heard this a million times, but it's tough to play in El Salvador. It really is.
What do different venues do to really because we always talk about so for instance, this game's being played at night, but a lot of these Azteca games in the past were played in the middle of the afternoon.
I mean, it's the crowd,
level,
it's the atmosphere, the grass, and if they have this ultra confidence that they're going to win because they're at home, they got the people behind them, it's loud, it gets to you sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, it does. And I had we had a decent record on the road. We most times out of not we got a point, but it's tough. But I would say out of the teams that I can just off the top of my head right now, I would say El Salvador is probably one of the toughest venues.
Honduras
isn't a cakewalk either. They purposely play the game at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
The grass is like up to your ankles, and it's hot. I remember when I said this before, they killed. Like I had text from Boney, I had text from Boniac, from Alex Lopez, that because when I said it, they're like, oh, Honduras isn't that bad. You are killing our country and blah, all this stuff. But it's true. Like we didn't have any hot water. You know what I'm saying? After the game, like come on, man. We're really.
Come on, it's just to wake you up, man. Just get a nice cold shower.
Those two venues I say would be the toughest for sure.
We got some pretty funny ones. I think the funniest DaMarcus one that's coming so far, other than the obvious ones. We do have a Jamar's little brother being dropped in here.
I wouldn't mind. Hey, my
that's
brother,
messed
that's cool,
up.
Man.
That's messed up.
I'll take that.
We also got. I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube. I'm just gonna do it. Bees nuts. Sorry.
Can you say it on TV?
I don't know, man, but it was too funny not to say it. I read it. I was cracking up. Whoever put that in there is Ryan Dietz he's DaMarcus DeWeasel. That's a bad one, Thomas Gomez.
That's bad.
That's a horrible one. See yourself out, man. See yourself out.
By the way, Bees, one of the games you played at El Salvador, Frankie Haydock with the equalizer.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that game.
I forget. Frankie. So I remember that goal, right? He heads it in at the end. There was a teammate in front of him, and he literally pushed the teammate away, and I forget who. Like he literally pushed him out of the way so that he could get the open header, and I forget who it was.
I can't think of who it
was. Give me all your Frankie Haydock takes, DaMarcus. He's a unique person. Nobody will ever be. There only one be one Frankie Haydock, and that's
only one. The amount of espressos that he drank before training and games, man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Frankie was cool, man, because he would always write on the board like a Bob Marley quote or some kind of reggae quote on the board before every match. When Bruce would put up the lineup. But yeah, man, Frankie's one of a kind, man. That's my guy. Was
Bruce putting any Bob Marley quotes on the board or no?
Bob put up the lineup. He's like, Frankie, just come do it, man. Just come.
Yeah, Frankie, do your thing.
Frankie, I'm gonna need you to do this for me.
Yeah, do your thing.
Frankie,
so he put up a quote every time. Yeah, every time Frankie did. Yeah, that was cool.
Bruce Arena listens
Mexico started again, folks. So head over to CBS Sports or Paramount Plus or TUDN or Univision, wherever you're watching right now. We got a free kick outside the box, which I'm assuming has gone well for the U.S. because I haven't heard any groaning or yelling so far.
Yeah,
so.
Nothing.
Got through. Good service, though. Good service. All right. So what do we need now? We need Canada to come back and get some sort of result. Yeah, that's like the big.
Look, if Canada gets the result and the U.S. gets a goal here, the U.S. win. The U.S. qualify directly for Qatar. So.
Go ahead and say that again. Repeat that, please, right now.
If the U.S. win and Canada get any kind of result, the U.S. are into the World Cup. So those are the two things that you're rooting for here. You're rooting for, if you're a U.S. fan, you're rooting for Canada to find an equalizer and then batten down the hatches. Yeah, and you're rooting for one of those to go in.
Half chance, but good chance though.
I like Pulisic coming out aggressive. I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure. A little slip ball.
Mm-hmm.
We had a video, that little slip ball in behind. We had a video to show showing DaMarcus's goal and a similar pass on the other side of the field. A little reverse ball though in his case.
So Dos Acero in Columbus.
Yeah.
Off the corner kick, DaMarcus. That's like my favorite USA goal ever.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Which one? Oh yeah. That's a good save, honestly, by Memo. That's a pretty good effort by Christian. I think.
Oh, we're showing it right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Ooh, yeah. I love that goal.
It's also some of the aesthetics of like the ball going in the back of the net, the juke moves, but then also the like all the not the confetti, like what are those called? Toilet paper streamer. Yeah, the streamer, whatever. The streamer coming out right at the perfect moment.
Yeah. Hey, that was a good time, man. Good
Beasley,
time.
when did you work on this? When did you know you were going to pull this out in the game?
The day before training, we worked on that. Myself, Bruce, Claudio, Landon. We just, we literally worked on that the day before at the stadium. At the stadium, we worked on that, and it worked.
Who called it in the game to do it at that moment? Is that
We
you?
all did. We knew. Yeah, once we got the corner on that side, that was the play. Yeah, we knew.
It's beautiful.
I'd say the only goal that's a little better is the Benny volley to win the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
It's a pretty great goal.
So do you put Benny's goal better than Bradley's goal?
I was just gonna say I got a soft spot for the Bradley goal. I know that some of this fan base doesn't love Michael, but when I first really got into the national team,
don't bring that in here.
I was just saying when I first got in the national
team.
team, Michael was I was like, this is the guy. Like, I spent years trying to get an Aaron Veen jersey. I could not find a Michael Bradley Aaron Veen jersey for the life of me, but I have all of his other jerseys from basically every other stop he made.
You want me to hit up Michael for you?
No, I'm good. I think Michael might be like,
I can highlight him for you.
No, that feels wrong. That feels wrong. I think I got to make this ask on my own.
All right, I know people, man.
I know you do.
I think if the U.S. if they had qualified in 2018,
right,
we would remember that Azteca goal, and it's unfair, right? Because whether it qualified or not, it was an amazing goal. It was an amazing result.
Yeah.
It was an amazing moment. And it deserves to be remembered as one of the greatest goals of all time. I think if the U.S. had qualified, it would maybe be remembered as the best goal in U.S. history, right?
So here's the pitch on the Benny goal. And obviously, DaMarcus, you lived it, so correct me if you saw it different, but it felt like with the 06 World Cup not going super well, it felt like that Gold Cup final, Mexico thought that they were on a different level and that they were going to rise. And coming into that game, they were flying through that Gold Cup. Guardado's coming through. Borgetti's still a part of the team. And it won aesthetically pleasing, I think, the way Benny strikes it, the way it loops, all that. But it felt like it brought the U.S. back above them. And we remained there for like the next 4 years. Yeah. So the moment it had, nice there between Greg and Tata, all of that was also valuable around just the goal. And then he's running and the pull on the jersey. It's pretty iconic.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. The moments after do matter. Like, for your goal, DaMarcus, like the juke, like almost like you've seen that before. You know what I mean? Like the two jukes on teammates. Those are the little things that like ingrain themselves in your mind over time. Because those are the moments where you're freaking out as a fan. You're like jumping up and down, watching the TV, watching how you guys experience the moment in the same moment that we're all experiencing it. And those are the moments I feel like, that's why that video after 2010 in South Africa, like that's why that resonated so much for so many people, because it felt like, and with soccer in this country, and especially in that time, but still in this time, sometimes it feels like you're a little disconnected from other people that are experiencing the same way you are. So to see that and to feel that and to be able to reminisce on that moment in your own life, man, that's awesome stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. To hear that
you
from,
get the giant Gold Cup after, and then we get Frankie Haydock wearing it on his head and falling over. Thing's massive.
Yeah, I'm so happy they changed that trophy. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man.
Yeah, it was a little bit of like an upside down dunce hat there for a while.
Yeah.
It was not the most aesthetically pleasing, so to speak.
Was that Pepe that just put his shoulder through someone?
It looked like
it was. Yep.
Respect for that.
How heated was it on the field back in your day?
Heated. I mean, it was bad. Like heated. I mean, there was no, like I even said, like a little bit after, I would say between 2000 and I would say 18, 19 till now. Well, I would say until the Nations Cup win, it was different. It was soft. I won't say soft. No, I hate when announcers use soft. I won't say soft, but it didn't have that same kind of bite to it, to the game. USA Mexico. I think they lost it a little bit. But now it's I think it's getting back up to that level of competitiveness, and it's fun. It's fun to watch. You know, that is what it is.
You need villains, so we either need Pulisic to pee on a field somewhere, or
Wow.
You were the first one to make the comment. I was close. I was close earlier. Like, well, you know.
Landon's actually at the game right now too.
Yeah, he's.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In one of the bodegas in my town, they were selling the Landon Donovan voodoo dolls like 4 years later, going into one of the qualifying games. I went into the bodega and it was like mini USA with his big head.
You got to purchase that. That's like a collector's item. You have to stash that away somewhere deep in a trunk where it can't get out. But
Wiebe, I'm pulling quarters out of the couch just to buy something. You got money for voodoo dolls?
They're just trying to beg Dioc, like, hey man, I'll you know where I live. I'll be back. I'll have it. I'm good for it.
Oh,
yeah.
Tajon almost scored.
Really?
Yeah,
this Canada team's set up to score. They're
even 10v11, they're pushing.
Yeah.
They're either getting a goal or this is ending 2-0 on a counter attack.
That's a good save. That's a good save by Navas.
No, but there was pure hatred back in my day.
How did you feel that? Like, in what moments did you feel that? Where it was just
in the game and tackle, yeah, unmistakable. I mean, it would be when you're just waiting for the ball the ball goes out for a throw in, and they'll give you a ball, elbow in your stomach, or they'll stamp on your foot. It doesn't happen a lot in football. You just kind of waiting, and you have hard tackles, but the extra little, dirty plays here and there. That's what it was, and you expected that. You just try not to react to it, and try to keep a level head. But I mean, that's what it was. It was more of a battle than football, than the game being played.
How often was it to hurt you, and how often was it to get you off your game and just mess with you?
I think it was a combination of both. I think when I first came into the national team, like when like 2002, 2003, I wouldn't say they're going out to try to hurt people. But it was definitely some bad on both sides. Not just because we had some dogs too. So it wasn't just. I'm not just talking about Mexico. We had some dogs too that get it. Frankie was the 2 feet tackle every single time someone got the ball. You know what I'm saying? Pablo. Yeah, I was just gonna say Pablo.
Oh, yeah.
I was just about to say Pablo.
I love watching Pablo play.
Even our head coach, Berhalter. Come on now.
Yeah.
Like he would, I'm telling you, like we had some dogs too. So it wasn't just Mexico, but we knew that was going to happen. So we didn't do the same. And I think what was great about it was, the ref knew that he was reffing the US Mexico national, the match. So they let some things go. It got heated a bit. You get yellow cards here and there, but they let a lot of stuff go, man. And there was no VAR back then. So you could really get into somebody.
Who was the veteran when you got into the national team in 2000, 2001, who training puts in a hard tackle first to be like, welcome?
Greg Berhalter.
Nice.
Greg Berhalter.
All right, give us insight into Greg Berhalter and that era as that player.
The thing was with him, he would treat it. I mean, obviously, as you do, you treat training. He treated training as a game. He was a true professional. But I'm telling you, he would literally talk, smack to you. Like if he fouled you, he'd be like, "Man, get up! What are you doing? Get up! Like, come on, man, get up!" Like, it wasn't just like, hard tackle, kind of get up and run around. Like he would talk smack after he hit you, and no, he just 2-footed you in your ankles.
Uh-oh.
That was Berhalter. He was a hard-nosed defender, tackler. And he trained just as hard as he played, 100%.
Doyle, you're reacting to Joel Campbell?
Okay. Costa Rica very nearly made it 2-0. Now Mexico's on the break.
God damn it, I haven't seen the corner yet.
Yeah, I haven't even. I'm like, I was hoping.
You still way behind, Wiebe.
Yeah, like I just don't understand.
Wiebe's in the first half.
Yeah,
right.
I'm
seeing the
live.
lineups now.
I'm like, that's a soft yellow on Miles Robinson. I don't know what you guys think, but that is just unacceptable. Let's see if I can go outside of like full screen if I can.
Doyle's ahead of everybody.
Says I'm on live. I don't know.
Yeah, we set up this whole thing so we could all be in the same place, and then Doyle turns on his TV.
Theo and T-Fock coming in.
Wow, in the 60th?
I mean, this is kind of what we thought might happen. Is these sort of changes around 60? Is that he would
I like the P-Funk move. I like
Weah and Pepe coming off. I don't understand taking off Weah.
Maybe they just don't. Maybe they don't think he has the. I mean, they have all the fitness data on him. I'm sure from Will and from training sessions. Maybe they just don't think he has the legs to do it.
DaMarcus, having played in multiple leagues, when Jordy P-Fox scores 17 goals in Switzerland, do you say, guys got 17 goals, play him, or is the level of the league matter to you?
No, I don't think it does, and I don't think it should matter. If the guy's on form and he fits, the way you want to play, his attitude on off the field, I don't think that matters. I mean, he's playing and he's scoring in Champions League as well. It's not just he's scoring in Switzerland. He's scoring in the Champions League as well. He's a very important player for their squad. So, yeah, I was surprised that would have been my number 9 today.
Mm-hmm.
If that was like my only surprise when Pepe was starting. I got it. I mean, I kind of my opinion with mindset was starting. Who happened?
Oh, Navas.
I think he's on Canada.
Oh, he's on Canada.
Navas is unreal.
Yeah.
He's unreal. My God.
Just played on his feet.
Oh, no, it's not a save.
No, it was off the belly. Yeah,
it was a block.
Yeah. But Canada
no
put
that
pressure on
like
him.
An incredible save because he didn't.
Canada's putting big time pressure on now.
Also, Brian Ruiz came on, I think, at halftime.
Hey, he didn't start.
No,
he don't got the 90s. He got the DaMarcus legs now.
Yeah. Man, 5 minutes ago you told me I should be playing. Now,
I'm just trusting you.
5 minutes ago,
you
5 minutes ago you said, man, I'm trying to get you back.
And you got a calf injury, DaMarcus. Wow. I'm just trying to protect you, man. I'm just, we might need you for Panama.
DaMarcus, I'm the one who's respectful. I'm a New Yorker.
What a
Wiebe's
play
a
for
Midwest
Moose.
player.
I see.
They're harsh.
Moose is so good. Like, he's my favorite player in the pool. There's a lot of great young players in this national team pool. He's just so smooth, has the ability to release runners like that.
Do you have a favorite, DaMarcus?
I agree.
Do you have
one?
Do you have a favorite? One guy that you're just like, I really just like watching this guy play.
Aronson.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's my favorite.
Why
I like
that?
how he plays. I like how he plays. I like that he's he likes to get the ball go 1v1. He's only thing he's lacking is a bit more composure in front of the goal. But his work ethic, his attitude, and how he plays the game is I think for me it's a big important piece for the national team going forward. But yeah, I like to watch him play.
It seems like he's going to make a move.
Kellen's fishing for a call here, by the way.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know,
I don't know. That was neat.
Edson's fishing for a second yellow, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think
Kellen's gonna help him.
I'd be
I think
baiting
Kellen's
the hook
gonna take his hand
myself
and
if I
help
was
him over
Kellen.
the cliff.
I'd be like, oh, excuse me, would you like to take this yellow card? How do you think he should approach his next move, DaMarcus? Everybody's saying Leeds, and of course Jesse's there, and they probably got to stay up, obviously, for him to make that move. But you've lived that life. How would you think about a next move if you're Brendan?
I mean, obviously he's got to fit, the plan that they have for him because he's still young, so you want to be able to at least have the coach or the sporting director, whoever you're speaking to, they have a plan to play you, and for the next, not just, next year, but 2 years, 3 years, we see you here, we see you there. If he has that in place and he's talked to the club and getting that confidence, then yeah, I think he should go to, the club that sees a future in him for sure. And if that's Leeds, that's great. Premier League, a huge club, a lot of history. You see the fan supporters at that stadium. So why wouldn't you want to go there?
How does your life change?
I'm hoping that Aronson and Tyler both end up at Leeds, right?
Yeah. But I'll say this though. it just so for me, when I was leaving Man City, and I could have stayed, but I ended up going to Rangers because I wanted to play Champions League football again. So that's another question. Does he want to stay in Europe and play Champions League football, or does he, want to go to Leeds and obviously be in a better league in the Premier League? So that's another question he has to ask himself. Because I went through that as well. So, I would be interested to see what he does.
I think the size of the paycheck may have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Ain't no money like EPL money. Ain't no money like EPL money.
That's true. That's true.
It does sound like Calvin Phillips might be going for big money, which opens up a spot for Tyler Adams.
He is just so young too. It's so encouraging. I wonder how you think about this as a former player. And obviously you did your thing. You went to Europe and were playing at PSV super young, et cetera, had a ton of success. But just this whole team, and even outside this team, we just have this huge groundswell of players that are getting opportunities at a much faster rate and at a different variety of clubs and a profile of clubs than we have ever before. Like as you look back on that and think about your time and now this time.
Sorry, my bad. Mesco had a good chance.
That's a great moment. I had to glance up, but then I was like, I'll glance up in 30 seconds to see
30 seconds
to see where it's at. What do you think about that change in sort of the perception of Americans? Did you fight against perception in Europe? And
yeah, I mean, no one. I mean, even my teammates. I've said it before. When I went to PSV, no one really. They didn't really show me love when I got there. There's only a couple players that spoke to me. It was difficult, but obviously when I played and you gain respect, then obviously it's fine. Like all those guys are my homies. I had no bad words to say about any of them. But in the beginning, yeah, it was tough. It was difficult. But I think now you see the influx of talent. So it's getting easier and easier as a lot of American players, move to Europe. But yeah, in my day, no, it wasn't just, oh, hey, come into the team. No, you had to prove something before, they kind of open up.
They're giving the Greg Berhalter treatment.
Oh yeah.
Moose is getting the Greg Berhalter treatment tonight. He's been on the ground the last 5 straight minutes.
Just got stepped on.
He also got a nice piece of Lozano's calf accidentally on the way down, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you got to take a souvenir if you're going.
Yeah, 100%, man. If you're going to come down, just let it happen. All right, we're 2/3 of the way through. How are we feeling?
I feel worse than I did an hour ago when DaMarcus was like, feel confident. And I was like, I do feel confident. I feel good. Not about the U.S., I think, just with Canada red card, Costa Rica being up 1. Sort of the state of the whole thing. Although the Panama draw makes me feel better. But
yeah, the Panama draw is a gift that I don't know that we necessarily deserved, but that I will absolutely take. Like that's the thing that we needed. We needed somebody at home to drop points, and that seemed like by far the. Oh my gosh, what was that? Is that Atiba heading it out for past Borjan for his own? That was an interesting
miscommunication in the Canadian backline. Yeah, at least it wasn't an own goal.
Yeah.
Moose is limping off the field here a little bit, 69th minute.
Yeah.
Giving a thumbs up. I don't think he's coming out, but I kind of hope he's coming out. Oh, God. So the U.S. are definitely sitting deeper in this second half. They've been absorbing way more pressure. It's interesting because, bringing Gio on, you would think that they would want to come out and get on the ball a little bit more. He's not as much of a direct threat as Weah is, but I think it's just the tilt of the game at this point. Mexico's got to be feeling a little more desperation. This is a bigger game for Mexico, arguably, than it is for the U.S.
Yep, I agree with that.
If it stayed this way, 0-0, how would we feel walking out of here?
If I would feel okay. I mean, obviously the yellow cards, but I would feel okay with a draw.
So the U.S. would move to 23 points with Mexico, right?
The U.S. would be on 22. Right now, this is a live. We've been very confused about the board. I led the confusion to start the show, so I'll take the blame for that. But this is as it stands right now, with Costa Rica winning, U.S. and Mexico drawing, Canada losing, obviously, and Panama's locked in at 18. So if Canada found a way to get a point here, then
Oh no!
Oh boy. Well, now I
Can we
get
get
to
some
the-
Oh no!
Oh, I see it
That's
now.
no, that's not a yellow. That's not a penalty.
Now I. Oh no. It's like a cascade. It's like a
It's like doing it in rounds.
Oh, Eustachio. He tries to shoot it to the far post.
No, that's not a penalty.
Jonathan David is so
Oh. I mean, this would be really painful, but also that might be a penalty.
Really?
It doesn't look like there's contact. It looks like he starts to stumble.
No, there's 100%
as he cuts
contact.
him.
There's
There's
100%
contact, but I think
it would be
ran
soft.
through-
It would be really soft. But those are one of the ones where VAR and CONCACAF scares the you know what it scares out of me. It terrifies me that somebody's going to see that where there is a little bit of contact there, and Jimenez tries to keep his feet, and then he goes down and just say, "Well, there was contact, PK." Thank God it didn't happen, but. We got some people asking us in the comments, DaMarcus, to tell the story of your retirement prank, and I like to believe that I'm pretty up to date on any and all MLS pranks that are in public sphere, but I don't know if I remember that one.
Man, I think my prank was the best. So who asked that question?
I don't know. Let's see who it is. Does it count? I mean, Landon hit us with a couple retirement pranks, but I don't know if those were pranks.
Oh, you donkey!
Okay, I'm definitely.
Uh-oh.
This is
yeah.
Doyle during a USA game. Now we know.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh my goodness gracious! How did you miss that?
Oh God.
Ah,
Here, right
you
now,
next.
okay.
that's
wait.
why you don't start
Wait for
him.
me. Wait for
That's
me.
why he didn't start.
Wiebe, you next.
Oh.
Gio too, by the way.
He gave it to him.
Yeah, that's true.
Gio
Doyle,
put
that's
it-
what you always
Wait,
say.
He was literally.
That's why Gio doesn't pass.
Yeah, but also Gio could have
Oh,
put that on goal
no.
himself.
He
No,
made
that
the
was a
right
good,
play.
No, that was a good ball. No, that was a good ball. To play that across the box was right. Was correct.
I mean, that ball is.
Wow.
It like catches him. He just gets his. He gets his feet wrong.
The U.S. has had the two best chances of
Yeah.
the game.
Yep.
Everyone knows you get a ton of chances at the Azteca. That's why you don't need to
we
take
have
them.
we have two chances literally in a point blank. He was like a step and a half too early to get to the space for where the ball came, and then he kind of got wrong-footed. Kind of got jammed up.
Not gonna lie, I have the Canada game on behind the US, and I forgot we were doing a show, and I completely shifted and was just watching.
Man. Yeah, you just got to finish that.
See,
You just
this
got to finish.
This is where a tie at the Azteca is a huge result, but if it comes after those, it won't feel like it.
Yeah, it won't. It won't. I agree with that. It won't.
That's a nice ball.
Man. How do moments like that impact you on the field? Do they? Like, is it just?
I mean,
you have to move on quickly, obviously, because the game is happening. But
yeah, I mean, they do, but at the same time, obviously, on the field, you're trying to think about it. But yeah, they do. I mean, I was as a defender, back in my, end of my career, yeah, I'd be pissed. I'll be like, yo, I'm doing all this running, y'all got to score. Y'all got to score. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the political thing to say, or the not political, but the right thing to say, the easy thing to say is, it's football. It happens,
Yeah. But you can't eliminate emotions. Emotions are real too.
Nah, you can't. You can't.
Did you?
But yeah, I did. I definitely screamed and yelled, a couple of times when
time or
people didn't
two?
put the ball
Yeah.
in there. Yeah, of course.
Come on, when I was
Come
in
on,
my
like,
day,
seriously.
I finished those. Have you seen
No.
the highlights? When it was me in your position, we were celebrating right now.
Yeah, you just give hey man, you got to put that one in, and then you keep it moving.
Yeah, like I
Keep
know, we all know. Who convinced you? How did you get? What was the moment when they said, "Hey, DaMarcus, we'd like you to play outside back"?
Jurgen.
Were you resistant at all, or did you just say, "Okay, you want to get on the field"?
At that time, I
Christian.
was. At that time, I was cool with it because it was the the snow game, infamous snow game, and but then when he told me, because then when I went back to Puebla, I was starting to kind of move into, because we were playing a 5-back system, so I was playing that wing back, and after that game, I went back to Puebla, and the coach went up to me and he said, "Oh, so you can actually play left back, huh?" So like that was it. After that,
No.
sometimes when we played a 5, I was still in the winger or a forward, but with Puebla, and I wasn't playing as a wing back. So but then as soon as that snow game happened, it was a wrap. After that, it was a wrap.
Once they saw
As a winger, did you took as a fan? It felt like you were a winger who worked hard defensively and tried to win back the ball. Was that something you were conscious about and kind of knew then?
Yeah, because of Bob. He told me that to play in his team, I needed to be a two-way player, because when I got there at 17 years old, I was raw, so I just like to dribble. That was it. I like to dribble. I like to attack. But obviously when you're playing with Stoichkov and Novak and those names, they teach you, how to play football and how, to occupy spaces and, not run so much and let the ball do the work. All those things you learn when you get older. And, I remember he told me, he's like, you have to be a two-way player in my team. If you want to play, you have a chance.
Gio
go ahead, Gio. Okay.
Gio Reyna is putting on a show that was absurd.
He just beat like 4 people, 5, 6.
And he's done passing for the night.
7.
After that.
The beautiful thing now is, okay, I got 1, 2.
I'm just gonna dribble it in.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go.
He is just dribbling this whole.
The second to last one is the best because it's a 2-footed tackle.
Oh my God. I mean, I approve of him just keeping it running there. Like, just see if you can beat the whole team at that point. After you beat 7 dudes, you just got to go for it.
You got to.
I guess Gio's healthy.
Whoop. Oh, that little like.
Oh no. Okay.
Come on, Canada. Give me a goal.
Did I see Eric Palmer Brown perhaps about to enter this game?
I see 2 guys there up on the sideline.
I thought I saw Eric Palmer Brown getting instructions, putting his jersey on.
U.S. midfield's getting a little ragged here.
Who was that? Was that Adams? I can't really tell.
Yeah, it was Tyler.
Yeah, it was Tyler. Okay. It's starting to open up though.
Yeah, Moose's legs are gone.
Oi!
Go, Tyler, go. Yeah, they're not going to give that after he just. Oh boy!
Oh, yeah, that was a good save. Yeah,
You think you're bad? Megan's in the other room. She's like 2.5 minutes behind.
Really?
That made no sense.
I'm surprised you guys didn't react more for that one, because Lozano's just in straight scoring position right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I've realized if Mexico scores, I'll know from DaMarcus's reaction. There's only so much I'm nervous
that's
about.
Fair. What should I be nervous about? I'm at the end of the chain here. I'm going to know before I ever see anything.
Dude, I won't be able to contain myself, so you'll know.
Yeah, it's Doyle.
Is this Jimenez? Wow. Oh, it's Eric Gutierrez.
Yeah.
He's a PSV guy.
He's a PSV guy, yeah.
Took him a little
while to
get
them on the Americans. Enough with the Mexican national team.
All right, so
guys.
Kellen off. Aaron Long coming on for Musa, and I think that's Eric Palmer Brown, which is an interesting. Have we seen Eric Palmer Brown in?
No.
Where's he playing?
Yeah, where's he playing?
He's in League One.
Troyes. Oh, where's he playing on the back line?
Yeah.
So he's been
Yeah.
playing in the middle of a back five.
No. And what club? What club?
Yeah,
Wow.
is that how you say it?
Troyes.
Where's that at?
Ligue 1.
In
It's
France.
south of France,
Oh,
I
in
think.
France. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, to be clear on my question, what position for the U.S. in this exact moment is he going into?
Yeah, I'm guessing this is the U.S. going to a back five with
Right.
him in the middle of it. And I think maybe
A Costa at right wing
Costa
back?
going to right wing back, but
Yeah.
Aaron Long's coming on too.
Oh, no, Long's coming in.
Yeah, Aaron Long. Adams is off, saving his legs.
Yeah, I mean,
He
it
looks
makes sense to
not
get Adams
happy.
off for the last 10 here.
Yeah, 100%.
Adam's already complaining to Greg.
Yeah, he's like,
Mhm.
what the
I think Palmer
he
Brown
didn't want,
might
yeah,
be
he didn't want
playing.
to come off.
I think Palmer Brown might be playing.
Might be
center
playing
mid.
in midfield. Yeah.
Yeah, which was kind of what I thought was one of the reasons he got called in, because he is versatile.
Actually, it looks like he's playing it right back.
Yeah, he is playing right back.
Interesting. He's playing at right back in a 5-man back line.
Is it 5? Are they playing
Yeah.
5 now?
Yeah, because
It's a 5
it's
now.
Miles, Walker, and Long.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't see it on my screen yet.
Oh no. Oh. And so the thing that's consistently happened with the U.S.
Oh,
when they've
goodness.
when they've played with 5 at the back is that they've given up a ton of room in midfield and just invited other teams forward too easily. And that's what we saw instantly.
Oh
right
my
here.
God. Oh my God. Oh, great. Jeez, man. If we're going to be teeing up those sorts of like cutback and shooting opportunities, this is about to get real stressful.
So they brought Vega on for Tecatito.
I feel like we've been blessed. I feel like we've avoided like most
Ooh, good shot.
most
Well done,
anxiety
Stevie
through
Adams.
this game. Like it just hasn't been that. Ooh. Yeah, I'm with you, the Hutch, in the comment section. That shot straight into the camera was pretty sick, just from a cinematography point of view there.
Congrats, Aaron Long. Made it back.
Yeah.
Gilly's injury, year out.
Yeah, that's right. This is his first qualifier.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
played, what,
Yeah.
25 games for the U.S., but he only got in 2018. And obviously he did his Achilles before qualifying started.
Yeah, it's good to see
Man,
him back.
P5.
He was playing really well before he got injured
Yeah.
with the national team. He was definitely a starter on my list at the center back position.
It feels like with this call up, and we'll see how this camp goes, I think he's a starter still for Greg if he's healthy. I think Greg wants him in the team.
Mm-hmm. That's a foul.
All right.
Oh yeah, we are leaving a big gap.
Pulisic off, Morris on
Jordan.
84th minute. I don't like the idea to change the shape to the 5-4-1 when the 4-3-3 has been working so well. For those of you who care about this sort of thing, expected goals at this point is 1.23 to 0.23. Like the U.S. has been not dominating the game, but creating much better chances and inviting Mexico forward like this when they're desperate, when they're going to throw the kitchen sink, terrifies me.
Jordan's first ever, when Jordan was in college, his first game, that was versus Mexico, right? In San Antonio when he scored?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
You were in camp when he came in as a Stanford guy with Jurgen, right?
Yeah. He scored. He scored against our World Cup squad.
Yeah. What was that?
I think we beat him like 7-0. Oh, sorry, 7-1. But yeah, he scored. Yeah, he was a menace.
Little moments change your life.
I'm telling you, it does. Uh-oh. Okay.
I love the okay.
Yeah,
That's how I know. That's
You
how I
can
know
breathe,
that story.
yeah, everything's all right. Everything's all right. Everything's under control.
This Mexico team still, I don't think they've scored 2 at the Azteca yet in a game.
Yeah, this is, and the sad, I mean, I don't know. This game has not, from an intensity standpoint, has not, and quality at times, has not felt like, just hasn't like grabbed the way some of these other games within US and Mexico have. I don't feel like.
I think that's what they're like. You just remember the goals and the big moments, but
Yeah,
they're
maybe so. There's just been nothing to like
they're
rev
cage
this
fights.
to rev this one up necessarily. Like, and that's probably right. We don't have that like tipping of the scale to force somebody into desperation to get them Ugbo on for Canada.
I think he scored 3 in the last 2 weeks in France.
I thought he was in Belgium.
Yes, give the ball away in bad
He's
positions.
on loan
Mexico.
to France for the year with an option to buy. He moved in January.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What club?
Yeah. Really? You're gonna have me out here trying to say French clubs' names?
After Doyle had I was gonna go like, yeah, I was gonna go Troyes and hit with the
Troyes.
What are you doing, Kellen?
They need like a Duolingo for international soccer clubs. Like just like guide me through all of Ligue 1. You know, give me Ligue 2. Like give me the Belgian league, like, you know, Netherlands. Let me get all these pronunciations spot on.
So you've watched a little MLS. Has Kellen Costa ever scored a goal from outside the box in his entire career?
He had those moments for Dallas there for a little while before he
did,
where he was doing some of that stuff.
But he does strike the ball really well though.
He does, but like in that moment, striking it from 28 yards with your left foot, when you have Morris out on the left, like would have liked to have seen him hit one more pass.
He tried to be the hero. To be the hero.
Plus, he's got nothing to lose with PFOC and Christian's misses. No one will even remember. If he scores, he's Michael. If he doesn't, no one knows.
Stefan's been great tonight, by the way. His distribution was rough at the start, but I thought he grew into the game. I thought he was really good 5 minutes ago, I guess, when Mexico got the edge and almost got a go-ahead goal. It's nice to see from him.
Yeah, even that touch on Chuky's shot, it didn't go off for a corner kick, but that was a good save.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay.
Stefan got that different era, DaMarcus. You got the pre-money era, and Stefan.
Yeah, no. He got the money. Yeah, I got the pre-money. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh, Jedi. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's ballsy. Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Just a shout out to the comment section right now. 1, thanks for hanging with us all game. It's been a blast to do this. But 2, we'll be here once the game is over. And if you have thoughts, if you have takes, drop them in. We'll talk about them. We'll share them. We will try to digest what has happened tonight in World Cup qualifying at the end of this match, because Canada right now is in the 82nd minute. So I guess that one will go on a little longer. We'll have the final result during the post game as we chat through what happened. But stick around here for a little while. We'll keep it going for as long as we feel necessary.
That's a foul. That's a yellow. That's a second.
Yeah. Come on. Tots is just complaining about everything.
I still think one of the best moments of the entire octagon is – no, actually, it was not the octagon. in one of those finals was Tata at the VAR booth and Greg having to be like, "Hey, Tata, this is not where you want to be, man."
I think it was the Nations League.
Yeah,
final.
I was gonna say it was one of the finals in the summer.
Come on, Musa.
This is potentially a massive win for Costa Rica.
Oof. That was one of the weird parts, obviously, and this sort of always happens in qualifying.
Oh, wow. Cannot believe he gave that card. He got a James Harden card. Vega just got a James Harden card. He hooked
here.
He hooked Morris's arm and he brought Morris down on top of him as he was falling. Like that's a.
What is Kellen involved with? Why is Kellen over there?
Oh no, Kellen's elite. You got to let Kellen get in there. When it comes to
Kellen's always in it. He's always
elite.
He's always got something to say. Yeah.
You got to let him do his thing. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a foul.
5 minutes of stoppage.
I think that's just for diving, Doyle.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a good
call.
He went for it.
Yeah, he did.
This is brutal. It sucks. Yeah, that's such a huge gap after Palmer Brown chases over the top.
Yep. I hate it.
Also, why not make it like a 5-3-2 and let like Reyna sit up top?
I think the idea is you just want to make sure that you have as many numbers as possible in midfield, but it doesn't. It's one of those formations that if you're not drilled on it, I don't think it works like that. I think it actually creates more space in midfield.
Man, Chucky's shooting from everywhere tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Kamate? No?
Wait, what was that?
I was trying to calm them down a little. If we weren't on right now, there'd be a lot more talking coming from my
Yeah.
I'm normally talking to the TV. I'm really helpful, too. I tell you anytime a man's on. I promise that.
Oh, no.
This is like I basically there's no point in me watching the game. I'm just sitting here listening to you guys, hoping that hoping that one of you doesn't like trying to watch Canada Costa Rica just to be live in the moment here and hoping somebody doesn't say something awful.
Well, if it's gonna fall to anyone, you want it to.
Yeah,
be
if you got a player of the game, by the way, chat, hit us
tackle.
up. Who is the player of this game so far, or maybe the opposite? Who's the player that has something to answer for after this game?
Good tackle.
I think this.
Come on, the touch.
Reyna's touch is ridiculous.
He's so good. PFOX touch is also ridiculous in a different kind of way.
Yeah, I was just going to say I don't see a scenario in the world where Ferreira doesn't start against Panama.
It's wild, man, that he doesn't get any minutes against Mexico. Is that Greg yelling at PFOC or at Costa for where he played it?
What happens to Tata after this game?
I don't think
qualify.
I don't think they'll fire him, but like
No.
he's got to get them qualified. I think it's the same for both coaches, right? If they qualify, they're in, or they stick around. If they don't qualify, they're out. The one thing that's different, I think, even if the U.S. only make fourth place, I think Berhalter stays. I think if Mexico make fourth place, I think only fourth place, and have to play that playoff against New Zealand or New Caledonia or the Solomon Islands, then I think Tata might get fired.
But not the British territory of Christmas Island.
Correct.
Play them.
Ooh,
Correct.
Christmas Island.
It's a world, and it pissed me off
good,
a lot. when it
that's a good.
happened.
That's some good.
David,
stuff.
I want you to know I got that one.
I didn't. If the U.S. scores in the next 10 seconds and Mexico still qualifies, I don't think Tata will be the coach. But that doesn't seem super likely. Oh,
Come on.
Turn them backwards. Do not let them. All right. It doesn't matter. I shouldn't be hyped, but a point's a point.
nice. It's over. We're done.
It's over.
All
We're
right.
on Canada now.
All right.
We need
We're 89th minute of Canada.
that Kamal Miller goal.
So what that is that 4 draws in the last 7 World Cup qualifiers at Azteca?
No,
No.
we lost in the middle there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 4 in the last
That's
7.
what I'm saying.
Sorry,
4
I
draws,
think
3
it's
losses
straight.
in the last 7 at Azteca in World Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. I mean, that's
Yeah, 4 and 3 since
Oh.
2000. Since
just a lot of
1999,
good coach respect padding going on there between Tata and Greg. Just like a lot of back padding, chest padding, side padding, just a lot of padding. going on
Whoa,
here.
Canada
man,
has
this is
65% possession.
this is the. Yeah, I mean, this is that's honestly that's
Costa
Costa
Rica
Rica.
got their goal. And
And
How much
regardless-
time is left in that game?
It's
Like
89
4
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
4.
three minutes of stoppage.
See, PFUC is on the ground after this, being comforted by the staff and teammates.
Now Greg's got to build up another striker's confidence. The one dude who came in scoring goals, now they got to build him up.
All right, once this Canada game is over, we'll start to give we'll give some thoughts on what went down tonight and say
I'm
adios.
sorry.
By the way, folks, we're going to be back for all the games during this window. So we're going to watch that Canada-Jamaica game. Dave and I, we've got Toussaint Ricketts that'll be with us, working on some other great guests. And then US-Panama, we'll have a watch-along here as well. That'll all be one 4-hour marathon. And then Sasha Kleshton's going to join us.
Big Sash.
On 2 streams, sorry. Sasha Kleshton's going to join us on the 30th for the final day of qualifying. We hope that it doesn't come down to that the U.S. can somehow, via a little bit of help and otherwise, and also a win against Panama, obviously, get the job done. But need maybe Canada to do something special in the final minutes here. If they lose, that would be their first loss of the octagonal, which is just crazy.
He played Ismail Kone. He put him in the game.
I'm more of a Rita Zahar guy.
I knew you were going to say that. Get out of my face.
He's awesome.
I thought you were a Kiza guy. I thought you were more of a Kiza guy.
Oh, no, not a Kiza guy at all. Rita Zohir is awesome.
Yeah, so is Kone. They're
That's
both very good.
They're both good young players.
Yeah. I just
All right.
didn't realize he was actually going to play.
All right, let's talk about it, guys. It's post-game showtime, at least for the U.S. U.S. right now at Azteca, applauding the fans. Mexico, 2 points dropped for them. You got to say 1 point earned for the U.S. Could have been more. Let's start with you, DaMarcus. What are your feelings after that one? 0-0, up to 22 points.
I think it's 3 points lost, to be honest, with the chances that they created.
Mhm.
I mean, when you go into a game like that, yeah, anything you can get is great, but they're going to kick themselves with the 2 chances that Pulisic had and P-Folk had. I mean, those are the 2 best chances of the game, and they could have made history tonight. It didn't happen, but you move on. But good result. I think it was a good performance. There wasn't too many mistakes. I think Mexico carved out the U.S. A couple of times, but they didn't really create any, really, great chances, a couple half chances. But I think they'll be happy with that. I think they'll be happy with the performance, and they'll be happy with the point. But I think it's still a little bit disappointed not getting all 3.
That's a pretty incredible place to be, honestly, at Azteca. It's not what we're used
Yeah,
to. But look,
and I don't. I've never felt that way. I'll tell you that. I never felt that we should have won. Like, literally, like, because of the chances we created, or the football that we played. No, definitely not. I've never had that. So I know I can see on my TV now. They're smiling, and they should be. They put on a good performance, but I think in the end they look back on it like this is 2 points lost, to be honest.
So we have 2 players lost to go along with that. We talked a lot about yellow cards before this game began, and that was a big risk that Greg Berhalter was willing to take with DeAndre Yedlin and Tyler Adams and Timothy Weah and Zach Steffen. Of course, Steffen, no yellow cards. Tim Weah gets a yellow card. DeAndre gets a yellow card. Neither of those players will be available in Orlando against Panama, which, as Doyle has rightfully pointed out and used math to do so, which we all ignore and don't understand, that game is extremely important. They will not be around for that one. Thankfully, though, Doyle, Tyler Adams will be around for that one. We started this game out with some concerns about what that would mean for the U.S. and going for this and what the trickle-down could be. Well, we know that now. It's a point, and it's 2 players lost. How do you feel about this result?
I think proud as a fan, proud of the way the team played. They went out there, and even though they ended up under 40% possession, like, they played real soccer. They were knocking the ball around. They were using the ball to create chances. Obviously, they had some individual matchups where they knew they had an advantage. I thought Tim Weah going at Arteaga on the U.S. right side, Mexico left side, they were dying to work that all night, and for the hour that Weah was in anyway. And it was great. Like Bees, though, it's like it should have been all 3. Like when you create the 2 best chances of the night, when you really only give up maybe 2 half chances, it really felt like it was there for the taking. And I think, look, Greg Berhalter deserves a lot of credit for this. Like, he had this team ready. He had the right tactics in terms of carving Mexico up and putting them on their heels. And most of the players executed. Unfortunately, the guys who were supposed to put the ball into the net didn't. And that's kind of been the story for the U.S. in qualifying. We've cycled through number 9s throughout this thing, and nobody seems to want the job. And, like, granted, it wasn't just the number 9s tonight; it was Christian Pulisic as well. And it's frustrating. And it's one of those things where you look at the set piece goal that Costa Rica got tonight. By the way, that game is final. Costa Rica has won, so they're now in 4th place. You can see the standings right there. Like, it feels like in these last 2 games, if the U.S. are going to get the results they need, they're going to have to figure out a way to get those set-piece goals or maybe a counter-attack goal or something, because even when they build great chances like they did tonight, they're not putting the ball in the back of the net.
Dave,
is that too depressing?
I was giving it applause because I was about to give Dave. Dave, the comment section wants you to handle all the scenarios.
Yeah, he didn't say nothing. He just...
Yeah, it's somebody put it in the comments and said it's a 0-0 like win for the U.S. and a 0-0 loss for L3, and it doesn't feel like a win.
Apparently, the boos are raining down at the Azteca.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Right now.
Doesn't matter that it's only 40,000 fans. I mean, I'm sure it's coming from all over Mexico right now. They have not
40,000's a lot of people.
That is true.
Booing you.
That is true, and passionate people as well. You see where the standings are right now. Of course, Canada losing tonight. This is their first loss in the octagonal, which is an incredible thing to say. I don't think any of us thought that would be the case, but here they are, still in driver's position, pole position, 25 points. They got Jamaica at home at BMO on Sunday. U.S. at home against Panama, who are now 5th place, outside of even the playoff spot after a tough 4-game stretch for them. Draw at home against Honduras, who are already eliminated, and Costa Rica, of course, with a huge win at home against Canada to jump that spot into 4th. They would play in a playoff, a 1-game playoff in Qatar, the winner of Oceania. So if we want to just go through some of the scenarios, let's say the U.S. win. They beat Panama on Sunday. If they win, they're up to 25. Panama obviously can't catch them at that point. They would be at the very, very least guaranteed one of the top 4 spots. If Costa Rica was to drop points in that scenario or just a draw in their match, I believe we would be top 3. Doyle, you're the scenario math master here.
Yeah. If Costa Rica, if the U.S. wins and Costa Rica drop points,
We're clinched.
Then
then
we qualify.
the U.S. qualify. That's right.
Yeah.
So the math stays the same. Just beat Panama, man. Beat Panama, get the right results.
Well, we also came into this window and we said the expectation has to be that no one else drops points. You have to take care of your own work. I mean, you saw a spirited performance from Honduras in, a game that they had nothing to play for against Panama. El Salvador went out and they played pretty hard against Jamaica. Now they host Costa Rica. This is an opportunity for those players, a once-in-a-lifetime chance. So I think for the U.S., I was half listening to you guys while watching and consuming everything. I think I agree, which is that Greg Berhalter put his team in an opportunity to win, and the guys didn't put the ball in the net, and there's really nothing else he can do from there. But I think that it'll be a team that feels like they started the window on the right foot, right? They were the aggressors. They tried. They went to Mexico to play. Now you come home to Panama, even with the pieces that you're missing. I think there'll still be a ton of confidence, and there's a reasonable chance that some other things go right for you. But in the end, for the U.S. now, win this next game, and at a minimum, as Doyle worded it earlier, you're going to Qatar. Whether you're going in June or going in November is the question. That still has to be decided, but you put yourself in that situation, and that's what didn't happen in the last qualifying cycle. So I think all of that's an element of success. You got to score goals against Panama at home. Who does that? Still a question mark. We all expect Jesus Ferreira to now get his shot after P-Fox miss, Pepe having a tough performance. You could hope that maybe Jordan Morris is able to give you something off the wing. Areola and Ferreira have looked phenomenal for FC Dallas in the first month
they've looked
of the
phenomenal
season.
for the U.S. as well. I mean, I know it's a January camp when they did it, but they've had significant time over the years together to build chemistry, and just about every time they've been on the field together, that has borne results.
Wiebe, don't bring up a January camp.
I'm bringing it up right now. I'm not even in camp. It's like, hey, it's a month together. It's a month. That's
Areola was really good off the bench against Canada in that quality.
Areola is just really good.
Yeah.
He's
another really good attacker who doesn't necessarily finish.
Yeah.
Which
for all of them.
Which of the misses hurts the most?
The Pulisic one, because he's the 10. He's the guy who, is supposed to be the face of the team, and he's had a lot of tough moments in this qualifying cycle. He's had a couple of good moments as well. And it felt over the past 3-4 weeks with Chelsea that he had turned the page with that club, and he started playing some of his best. For his club, he's playing maybe the best soccer he's ever played, and certainly the best soccer in 2 years. And that was a chance. Even if he hadn't played well tonight, which he mostly didn't, if he finishes that chance, nobody gives a damn about
cares.
that.
Yeah,
nobody cares. You put the ball in the net, and that's the one. Jordy P-Fox, probably not a national team caliber striker, right? We've seen a bunch of him. It's probably not him. It sucks that I feel bad for him because it's going to keep him up tonight, missing that chance. It's tough because we had 25 years of Winalda and McBride and Landon and Clint and DaMarcus 19 or 20 times, finishing those chances against in these moments to put the U.S. to the next level. And this was supposed to be his time to do it. He couldn't quite get it done, and it stinks.
So
and I feel bad for him, by the way, because you see he wears his heart on his sleeve. You see it eats him up anytime he can't execute at the level he wants to execute. So I feel bad for him. But sooner or later, man, you just got to put the ball in the damn net.
Did those moments follow you, DaMarcus? As a player? You saw Jordy Peacock on the ground, and you could see him just sort of thinking man, that's my job. I come in, I have the one moment, and I didn't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, I won't speak for because I've never been a number 9, a true out and out.
Not until men's league. Not until men's league.
Yeah, right. Until last night. Until last night, exactly. But you're gonna think about it. It's gonna eat him up at night tonight because that was a huge chance. Just what Doyle said. That was his moment. That was his moment in Azteca. the biggest, all those names you get, the biggest rivalry in the world as far as international football goes. I mean, that was his moment, and he missed it. Can you miss chances in football? Of course, but when it happened to him, and the chance that he got like right in front of the goal, that's tough to take.
You could see it when I know he collided with the goalkeeper, but I think him pounding the turf like that and staying down for a second. It's more than any physical pain he's feeling there.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, he's gonna have to shake it off and get ready for Panama because we're gonna need him to put the ball in net, on Sunday. So I'm sure he's gonna do that. But this one definitely is gonna keep him up at night for sure, 100%.
What changes now against Panama? We know two guys that can't play. We know Yedlin can't play. We know that Timothy Weah can't play. We know that the U.S. needs a win.
I'll be surprised to see who starts at right back for one.
Yeah.
I think that's Doyle said in the beginning of the show that Shaq Moore's coming in. We'll see what kind of shape he's in, if he's fit to start. If he sticks with Palmer, Brown. I don't know. That's going to be a big hole at the moment to see who feels that. But I have all the confidence in the world playing at home against Panama. I know they're a tricky team to play against, but playing at home.
Colin Frankie, he could give you at least 45. Made for this.
Good news update here, because I hadn't checked in a week. Clearly, Shaq Moore started the last two games and went 90.
Okay, so he should have his legs.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so start in the back.
And then Yedlin will be fit for the.
Are we saying Shaq Moore right back?
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen, Shaq Moore. I think you probably go with Miles and Zimmerman again.
I think
Long starts.
I think he does. Yeah.
So who would come out then?
Probably Miles.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pull one, it would be Miles. Like he's been great, but not this past month. This past month he's been rough.
Also, he did pick up the yellow, so he would
get a yellow.
He's sitting on a suspension now.
Soft yellow, or what do you think?
Listen, man, you could break legs, anything below the waist, but once you get up here, I start to get a little iffy.
That was
the moneymaker, right?
It was soft. It was a soft yellow.
Even Jedi starts at left back.
Yeah.
By the way, I thought Jedi was probably man of the match for the U.S. Still dangerous going forward, and like the rotations defensively for the U.S. did get better after that first 20-25 minutes, but he was still defending on an island a ton, and he did a great job with it. So I thought he was man of the match. Obviously, you get him in one of those oxygen tents that DaMarcus sleeps in, and make sure that he's.
Can I get one of those for everyday life, like regardless of the altitude? I think I could just use that here at sea level. To be honest with you,
come in handy. I'm telling you.
For midfield, it's Adams, Musa, and do you start De La Torre? I think I would start De La Torre over.
Do you? So the other one here would be Gio.
Yeah.
Right.
But Gio's probably start on the wing.
Gio's probably starting on the wing, or maybe you save him for a sub on the hour mark because, again, he played 90 minutes for the first time in 6 months last week. He's probably – it feels like a lot to throw him into this one.
Feels to me like it's Christian and it's Areola and it's Ferreira.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I think
if it's a game you have
for this
really.
one.
You think Gio starts at the 8 with Musa and Adams as the other 8 and the 6?
Because I also think you're holding Kellen for if Tyler gets that yellow card for Costa Rica. I think you're holding Kellen in general because he's starting against Costa Rica.
Well, let me ask you this. Musa looked absolutely dead at the end of this game. Do we think maybe he sits and De La Torre comes in?
I mean, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I agree with Doyle on with Gio though. I mean, the injury that he had, not playing for 6 months. I don't know if that's a smart move to start him against Panama. I mean, he looked lively. I mean, he beat 7 players when he came on the pitch tonight. But I mean, I don't know to play him. 90 minutes. Okay, but
so you don't
look
have
at
to.
it. You don't have to.
Right? You could play him 60, but don't you want to come into a home stadium against Panama and jump down their throats and be up 1 or 2-0 in 20 minutes and isn't starting Gio how you get there.
It's a good argument. It's a very good argument.
You could even pull him at halftime. Like you could have a pre-planned sub with that. You've got 5 subs. I think based off what we saw from Greg tonight of putting out the team he did, of starting Weah, I think he's trying to get on the front foot and be the aggressor to open games. And
yeah, but I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because of his health.
Right.
That's the only reason why I'm thinking if Gio is healthy and he's been playing, he's going to start.
Yeah.
Hands down.
But if he can play, if he came on for 30 minutes today?
Yeah.
So if he can give you 45, what's the difference between starting and sub? And I think in this scenario, you want to start on the front foot. You want to start aggressive and offensive. I mean, we've referenced this a couple of times, but in the last window, the U.S. jumped Panama in Orlando in the second to last game of qualifying, and Panama sort of just laid down. Mm-hmm. And sort of it felt like they kept some in reserve for the next game, which worked out well for them, not for us. Yeah. But I think that's the idea for Greg out the gate. And so outside of Weah, I think with losing Weah, as hard as Paul Arriola is going to work, I think Gio gives you that quality, that class that you saw today, and the fear for Panama, having to deal with him, not knowing where he's going to pop up. 1v1, now he's getting double teamed. It's opening up space for a Musa. Ferreira starts dropping in. I think that's how you create problems, and I wouldn't be surprised if Greg tries to do that because he's been aggressive.
You're saying start him on the wing?
No, I would start him in the middle.
Oh, we've got Greg talking on. Let's see what he has to say. Hold on.
Because I'd also say about the wing, even though Shaq Moore's played, I think you want to protect him a little with Arriola, right? Make his life easier. Give him someone who's going to work defensively. I think Paul Arriola is that guy.
Yeah, he'll definitely do the work.
Just game's there for us to win, says Greg Berhalter. Unfortunately, we didn't get the goal. So he seems just a little wistful, a little disappointment. Yeah, used the disappointment word. He said they talked about being that team, about being those guys that made history. Yeah, which we pull these in.
Shaq
would have been nice to have those 2 more points, man.
Yeah, you can just sort of feel the vibe from him. It's not one of those games where you get the draw and you feel like you sort of tame the beast.
That's what I said in the beginning. I think it's 2 points lost.
Yeah.
With how they played and the chances that they created. Mexico didn't really create that much. Yeah, they had the ball, especially in the second half or into the second half, but that's normal because we moved to a 5-4-1 and we were defending, trying to get something out of the game. But those 2 chances were huge, and to go away with only 1 point and just, I know you guys always look at the bigger picture. Obviously, the bigger picture is the World Cup, but just being in the moment of playing at Azteca, trying to be the first team to ever win there. And that's what we try to do. And they had it right in their hands, but, they just couldn't put the ball, across the line. So.
And you feel for, I think Doyle said it about Pulisic of the way he plays, but also, the story that he's had to talk about has been, he's sort of the guy from the last cycle that has continued on. And obviously what you saw, the way he reacted in Cuba and what he had sort of had to deal with as a player who felt like he was part of this failure and now trying to change it. It's tough to see that he's not the one who he gets that goal. We win at the Azteca. Panama drops points. Like it all would have fell right in this one window. And I think he's going to know that. And the issue has been, it feels like him over pushing. This is not going to help, right? This is not what you want to see for a guy who doesn't feel like he's playing loose and comfortable when he's with the U.S.
I just want to say we've mostly sort of said, hey, like, feel bad for Pulisic. I feel terrible for Jordy Pefok, too. He waited and scored a ton of goals and did his thing to get back into the situation to try to make a World Cup. I mean, there are a lot of different situations going on for every single one of these players. It's a unique one for each of them, whereas Pulisic is sort of the man. Pefok's trying to make his career. He's trying to go to a World Cup. He's trying to contribute to this team in a historic way. And I think you gotta it's tough. We'll sit here and talk about it, and I'm sure they're talking about it and thinking it like, man, we should have had 3. We should have been those guys. We should have made history. That's painful. That sucks. He wishes, I wish, we all wish that he would have been 2 steps back, that he would have been more balanced, that maybe that ball is just in a little bit more of a comfortable spot for him, that he would have finished. And that is a career-defining moment. That's something nobody can ever take away from him, and both those chances went one. Speaking of that as an opportunity for Canada to get it done against Costa Rica, they did not do so. Costa Rica 1-0 winners. Up a man, Mark Anthony Kaye with 2 yellow cards, earned his way off the field on that one. But Canada now have an opportunity at BMO to have a real party against Jamaica. DaMarcus, when you see Canada atop an octagonal, when you see Canada on the brink of a World Cup, when you see Canada unbeaten in this stage of qualifying, when you see Canada in this stage of qualifying, I mean, in your day, this was not a thing.
This was not a thing.
What have you made of their run so far? I mean, look, tonight's a disappointment for them, but it's certainly not a disaster. What are your overall Canada takes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as being a lover of the game, you love to see a team and a country get behind their team and really push them and try to push them to new levels. I remember talking to Josie, and he said the talent's there. It was just more so about the structure and the resources that Canada didn't have, and now they do. Now they have a coach that believes in them. They have a federation that's behind them. They have a lot of young youth coming through their system, through their ranks. From speaking to Josie, being in Toronto for so long. So I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, it's just another. When we look at the bigger picture as far as CONCACAF, we hope as everyone that when they get to the World Cup that they do well. Because that gives the CONCACAF more opportunity in later World Cups to have 3 bids, have 4 bids, have 5 bids. So it always depends on their performance. But yeah, I'm cool with Canada being up there. They deserve it. It's not easy. What they've done, and it's very, very difficult to go through CONCACAF and not lose. Obviously, tonight is different, but. To do what they did is not very easy. So I applaud them, and, kudos to them.
And in the second half, down a man at 1.5 XG to 1.1 for Canada, 65% possession. Like, they came out to fight, to go after it, to win. They don't back down. This team hasn't at all. Last window, they beat the U.S. in the second game. You feel like that's the high. Then they go down and win at El Salvador. Like, they have had that extra gear, that depth, and just a level of belief, as DaMarcus talked about. And it's pretty impressive. Larea, who hasn't even appeared yet for Nottingham Forest, comes in, plays 90, is awesome in this game. There seems to be the right culture around this group that no matter who's needed, they're sort of ready to step into awkward positions, new positions, big moments, all that type of stuff. Giving Ismail Kone that chance sort of feels like that. I mean, Alistair Johnston was given that opportunity, had been a pro less than a year. He got starts in World Cup qualifying. So just sort of feels like what John Herdman's built. And as B said, there's a ton of depth coming through. I've said this a million times. This isn't a golden generation for the U.S. or Canada, not because these players aren't great, but because this isn't the end. It's just the start of a pipeline. And when you watch Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy and all these other young guys, and Jaden Nelson and Petrasso and Ismail Kone and all this, like, there's a ton of talent on both sides. And it's going to be pretty fun to continue to watch it. And hopefully, once the U.S. finishes work over the next week, it'll be cool to watch the managers sort of start to filter some of those guys in going into what'll be a World Cup.
All right, let's wrap it up here, guys. Panama, Honduras, a draw tonight. Panama dropping.
Can I ask a question before we wrap, or
sure.
are we in a hard wrap?
No, we were gonna. Look, when I say we're gonna wrap, that I still got 25 minutes. Right?
25 minutes, yeah.
That's just to do Anders a favor to be like, I hear you. I will wrap. I promise.
For the soccer people here, at what point does an actual natural number 9 matter anymore? Like, if your best talent isn't that, let's say in the third game, Gio Reyna's healthy, Timothy Weah's not suspended, Christian Pulisic's available. Do you actually need a number 9 out there?
Who's going first?
I don't think I don't look. The way that Jesus plays the position is pretty effective. I don't think they have to. But if they don't have that, then they need to have Pulisic and whoever's playing that other wing be extremely goal dangerous and finish. Like, that's the bargain that you're making, right? Like, somebody has to be goal dangerous. Somebody has to be in the position to receive cutbacks. Somebody has to be making the runs, getting in the positions to score and scoring. Like, that's what it all comes down to, right? And if that's Christian and he's on that same sort of form that we saw at the end of the 2018 cycle and that we've seen at the club level a ton and that we've seen with the U.S. in spurts as well, okay, fine. If that's Weah who we've seen do that over the past, 2 or 3 windows for the U.S., awesome. But somebody has to do it. And if they're not doing it, the number 9 has to do it. And that's where Pepe stood up and had his moment and got his sale and had his profile be elevated. Like, I don't think it matters how they do it. I don't think it matters how they set it up. It matters that one of those 3 players up top is getting in goal dangerous positions and scoring regularly, and hopefully 2 and ideally 3. But you see a game like tonight, and that's where you wonder, and that's where people get in their mind. We got to have this number 9. We got to have this player that's, a 15, 20 goal scorer wherever they might be and finishes those chances. Because when it doesn't happen, you get 0-0 draws where you should have.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the discussion of the whole hexagonal, man. Like, we've had so many of those chances. Yeah, but we're past if, right?
It's over for you. You don't think Pulisic could push his way into that?
I don't want.
You don't think Weah could? You don't think Reina could?
Weah is the only one.
There's not a magic number 9 that's about to pop up and
consider it. But I honestly just go with the hot hand at this point. The hot hand right now is Jesus Ferreira. He played well against El Salvador back in January. They created chances, and the thing is, when he's out there, they do tend to create chances for a wider variety of players. The other argument that I feel, I don't want to say strongly about, is that set pieces matter so much. So let's just screw it. Get Pifak out there again. Get another big body to dominate in the box. Because if the U.S. goes into this game against Panama and you have Long and Zimmerman and Pifak out there, that's 3 pretty good targets. So I'm not at the point where I would be comfortable throwing Christian Pulisic into that role as a false 9 for the U.S. for the first time in this must-win game. And same with Weah and same with Reina. Not that Weah's even an option because he's suspended for this one. So maybe if we have another scoreless draw or lose, God forbid, on Sunday, I'll rethink. But it's just not.
But here, I guess the question for me is Jordi Pifak better for this team than Paul Arriola, right? And if he's not, then you start Reina at center forward. And it's about, at some point, it's about the best players being on the field because no one is playing the role properly in that position. And I'm not saying I feel this way. This is sort of just something knocking around versus trying to jam someone in there because this is their natural position. But
that's not Jesus
accomplishing the job.
We know that Greg likes Jesus in that position.
Right, but here's the thing. What you're telling me is Jesus is not a natural number 9. Again, is Jesus more important to the team than Paul Arriola? Right? That's the question.
It's not the question because does the team play better with Jesus in that position as a 9 or a false 9 or whatever you want to call it than they do if Pulisic is playing that position and Paul Arriola is playing left wing, right? Because it's all moving pieces. It's never just 1-for-1 in soccer.
For sure.
It's just not.
Right. And I would say, as you mentioned, they created a good chance against El Salvador. Every goal came off a set piece, right? So they didn't score Honduras. From. Oh, sorry.
Against El Salvador, the one goal was from a kind of a counterattack.
So they have not really scored in these dangerous moments with those guys. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just playing devil's advocate. This is where you get after a scoreless draw at Azteca when you had the 2 best chances of the match. You start getting deep into it. Let's end here. We have some simulations that have been done. Canada and all 2,500 simulations make the World Cup. Mexico make it in about 99% of simulations. They have an easier schedule the rest of the way than the U.S. do. Of course, U.S. hosting Panama and going to Costa Rica. U.S. make it in 97.7%. Costa Rica down at 48, Panama at 13, and we know where Salvador, Jamaica, and Honduras stand. They have big fat zeros next to their name.
DaMarcus, win with this question: are the U.S. going to the World Cup in your mind? Are they
Yeah,
getting a win against
100%.
Panama?
Yeah,
100%.
100%. 100% home game against Panama. Sorry. Yeah, I can't see anything else but a win. We're a strong team at home. We've always been a strong team at home. So yeah, I think yes. The answer is yes.
My answer is yes as well. I feel similarly confident, and I felt similarly confident last time around, and I'm not going to think about that tonight at all. We won't even ask you guys. We'll just say yes and leave it at that. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a pleasure to talk with DaMarcus about anything and everything under the sun when it comes to soccer. We're going to call this one good. We'll be back on Sunday for 2 streams, one during the Canada match, one during the U.S. match. Then we'll have a big stream with Sasha Kleshin on the 30th to watch that final day of qualifying together and see who does stamp their ticket. Hopefully the U.S. is not thinking about that. Hopefully the results go our way and we get a win against Panama and Canada have a party at BMO. All right. Enjoy your night, everybody. Thanks for being here. DaMarcus, it was a pleasure, man. Doyle, Goss, I'll see you soon. Adios, everybody.